Hours of power. 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 Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind, 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 open your mind.
Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. Tonight, y'all already know what it is. Wednesday nights, it's the old
Hours of power, hours of power, hours of power, hours of
yeah.
power, hours of
I know it's been a
power,
couple weeks since we did these hours of powers thing, but you know, a brother do be busy out there in these damn and the brother came on this sometime 30, and it'd be too late to do anything, but we back this week because I did promise y'all a show this week. As y'all can see on the right down here, y'all can see that this week we're gonna be getting at it with brother Loadkast and the Thinking Man Templar, and we're supposed to have Uncle Ruckus as well. So 3 interesting personalities up in here for y'all tonight, as always, because y'all know how we do it. First up is gonna be brother Loadkast. Then we're gonna go to the Thinking Man's Templar. Then we are going to Uncle Ruckus. All right, I see you up there, brother Loadkast. Already sent you the link, brother. Check your email. What's good, Captain Cisco? What's going on? Joey Crack. Joey Crack. I like that. Joey Crack. Yeah, so before we get started, I can't even thank. I don't even think I could thank anybody for last week. I don't think we did a show last week, did we? Oh yeah, we did. We did do a show last week. Or did we? I don't even remember. The days just run into each other so much, man. Especially this time of year, man. This time of year, I'm swamped. You know, those of you who've been following the Popular Thought series for a while, y'all know what I do for a living. Okay, I'm a power mechanic. I'm a mechanical engineer. So when the weather heats up, that's when everybody starts using their equipment, their lawn equipment, their bulldozers, their motorcycles, their boats, and all that shit. So my shops are slammed right now, y'all. I mean, literally slammed. When I come in here on a Wednesday or a Thursday night, I usually have just enough energy left to come up here and bullshit with y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's all I be having left, man. That's it. So, I mean, it's been rough, but I actually enjoy doing this. And as I always open up, I want to thank you for the donations that you gave me last week. Y'all always give me donations. A lot of times y'all donate even when I ain't on the air, which I think is magnificent, which means y'all are actually going into the thing and checking for me and dropping coins on me. So that's definitely appreciated. Like I always start a show off with, I know you don't have to spend your hard-earned coins on this platform, but you choose to do so. You do. And I consider everybody a supporter, whether you drop coins, whether you watch the videos, share the videos, contribute to the chat room, leave comments in the comment section. If you watch these videos, I consider you a supporter, whether you give me money or not. So I thank all of you for your support, all of you for your contributions, whether it be written or coins. I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. I'm honored. And I thank you. But now let's get on with it. We got Brother Loadkast in the house. What's good, Brother Loadkast?
Hey, Prophet of Truth. How you doing, brother?
It's Prophet of Thought, but don't worry about it.
Sorry, Prophet of Thought.
Yeah, so let's get right into it, Brother Loadcast.
All right, go ahead.
For those that are not familiar with your work on YouTube, won't you just give them a quick synopsis before I start my round of questions?
All right, sure. Well, me, I don't know how to define myself. Some people say I'm an intellectual. I just think I just got common sense. I'm one of those brothers who don't really keep up with everything that's going on in social media. But there's certain things that just seem to just pop up and seem to have that chime to it. You know what I mean? On your timelines. And I feel like sometimes, I listen to everybody's content. I love listening to people's content, even yours.
You watch my shit? Do you watch my shit?
Brother, I watch everybody's stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it really keeps me usually when I'm at work, what I usually do, I usually download stuff that's interesting and I'll listen to it. I convert it into an MP3 on my phone and I'll listen to it like music. And sometimes I hear things that kind of trigger you, and sometimes you hear some things that really make you consider some things. Then sometimes, you can actually, if you listen carefully, you can see how sincere a person is,
Okay.
And but bottom line is what I usually do. I usually come out and just talk about the stuff that's going on, or talk about things that are common sense, or things that are just on my mind. For me, doing social media is more therapeutic than it is like everybody else does, like by this thing everybody wants to keep up with everything that's going on. I don't. I just do it because it's just something that I feel like sometimes I just want to say to people and get feedback from.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your questions?
Well, what brought you to YouTube? Like what made Loadcast say, you know what, I want to make a YouTube channel. I'm gonna talk about some of this stuff.
Okay, my first 25 videos are all trigger ones. I was triggered. It was like the summer. I think it was the summer of 2016, 2017. There was the thing. Remember, you had Cynthia G was doing some crazy stuff on social media, and I used to now and then come out and just start barking at her because of how she would just say some crazy stuff. You're like, that's just wrong. Then it was a couple of times where I'm listening to brothers. You're looking at things that are really happening to us out here in the world. You're seeing how things are happening in social media. You see how the crackdowns are happening on Facebook, YouTube. and it seems like everybody wants to complain about it, but nobody wants to actually take real action towards it, you know. And then you have brothers who were doing things to like create the other two sites. Which one is it? The two popular black sites that are out there that we have, you know. I
Oh,
can't
Black Junction
Black
and
Junction and the other one.
Black Avenger.
No, the other one I can't remember the
Oh,
brother's name. I got a bad recall. But the other one, the first one that ever popped up,
mm.
Black Spot.
Oh, Black Spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of brothers that first want to hop on. I was like, oh man, you're like, I could have beat them to the jump on it. Right. And I'm listening to how everybody's like, well, we got to move on in here. You hear other brothers say, well, I'm going to create my own channel. Then I'm going to create my own site. Then you get other brothers, well, I'm going to create my own site. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, everybody kind of breaking apart and not realizing that, y'all, people come to YouTube, or people come on social media on these platforms and they connect with you. You know what I'm saying? And my attitude was like, you got to make it convenient for your viewers. I shouldn't have to go jump to this site. I shouldn't have to jump to that site, just to hear from you, to hear what you got to say. I shouldn't have to go to such and such.com or thisbrother.com to hear what he got to say. No, just can everybody have some sense enough to put a channel, put a comprehensive site together and just work on it. Then you had brothers complain about the shoddiness of the site. And I'm like, are we allowed to curse on there?
Yeah, man. I don't censor my guest.
Great.
You can say whatever you want.
I'm like, do y'all niggas understand that, dude, that you're not gonna get nothing perfect coming from us right now? I'm looking like, dude, some brothers got together, they put their technical skills together and created something for you. It may not be the best, but it's yours. Instead of you treating it like it's your own, you complain about it. It don't have this bell and whistle, don't have that bell and whistle. And I'm like, all right, y'all starting to sound like fools to me. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's your shit. Eventually, you would think, okay, let's raise some money and put it together, so we can improve on it. People don't want to do that. Everybody wants to give me some money for this, give me some money. And then you start to scratch your head and you're like, maybe this is all just a business, and maybe people at church, sometimes folk are getting you to feed off your emotions and triggering you to open your wallets. Now, I don't know how close you would feel comfortable me saying that, but you start to catch up. You start to see how some brothers and sisters really are out here. Some of them are not that genuine. They're really about that check. And I get it and I understand it to a certain degree. But if you're gonna speak, if you're gonna be a motivational speaker, you got to speak from the heart. If you're gonna try to move a tribe of people, you're gonna have to have some conviction. And the conviction can't be the dollar.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I mean, there's those type of things from that point. It kind of motivated me to come out and make rebuttal videos to other people. And believe me, a lot of popular ones, they know who I am. And, I just learned to just kind of calm down and relax after you start to get them. You start to get those phone calls. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, all right, let me shift this. I ain't scared of you, but I didn't mean to go that far. I didn't think somebody gonna take it this serious.
Well, do you think that, media like YouTube, because, you can get on YouTube and you can get paid. Do you think that it would be better if there wasn't so much money involved? Would it be more genuine? Would it be more real if there wasn't, so many dollars involved?
I think it's real now. I don't have a problem with the money being involved. I have a problem with those whose only motivation is the money. In other words, some folk, if you listen to them carefully, you start to realize that, dude, they just tricking you out your money. And I'm not dissing nobody, but I'm pretty sure after a while, you catch on, you listen long enough, you tune in long enough. Yeah, they'll say some real stuff and it'd be right on the money, but then it kind of flips into open your wallet up or try to convince you, well, we're working on this project. I'm doing this here. And you're like, look, sometimes, brother, the bottom line is that you're going to have to understand it, dude. If people love you, they should support you. And I don't have a problem with it. I think it's cool, and anybody should, like even yourself, should just ask for a donation. And people should open up based on the gratitude and based off of how you've affected their lives. As opposed to you telling me, well, I'm working on this platform and the platform never manifests. Or all of a sudden the platform costs too much. I'm like, Do you understand that running a website is expensive? You know, those type of things. Even for myself, I know how to run a site from my own home. It's costly. I mean, talk about a decent internet connection, dude. You talking like $200 a month, $300 a month, and if you start to get more people, you might have to get multiple connections. You see what I'm saying? And then from that point, then you can't do it off of one computer. You're gonna need many more computers as more people log in. You're gonna need some paper. But my question is what are you doing with the paper and overall? Are you using it to actually, as metaphorically speaking, you know how people in church go. You know, they got that building fund that's been going around for 40 years. And then by year 60, they finally decide to put a building up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let the let the roof leak in the old church for 20 years and shit.
Mm-hmm. And the preacher always got a new car.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you supposed to say, dude, this is supposed to be out of
and
conviction.
his wife always got a mink coat too.
Exactly. And the thing is that when you're doing it out of conviction, even the prophet or even the even the minister got to get up and go to work. But if he has a good following, they'll support him, but he knows he has to do more. And I think what has happened a lot of times, what messes it up is that it ruins it for the genuine people, you know. And that's my thing about it. So I just try to be as genuine as possible. And you see my conviction. I only come out when I'm ready to. You know, I don't hop on the camera every week. I don't hop on every day. It's just when I get a moment to.
Oh, let me ask you this, brother Loadkast. Do
Go
you
ahead.
think that YouTube has given those of us, because I'm a working man myself. Okay,
Right.
I work sun up to sundown. Okay, 6 days out the week. That's why you only see my black ass up here at night. And
Same here.
do you do you think that a lot of us have way too much idle time on our hand, therefore it allows us to be on YouTube and talk and shit all the time, and we run out of real shit to talk about, so we just start making shit up.
Yeah, you start embellishing and creating controversy. I will say this, and I'm just saying it as peaceful as possible. If you start to get acquainted with the characters online, you start to see who's doing what during certain time, during daylight hours. You know who's doing what in nighttime hours. You get the it kind of builds up a profile, a mental profile for you to understand this person's habits. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the bottom line is that yeah, a lot of our people do have idle time. You know, but the question is what are you doing something effective with it? Like I said, I don't have a problem with a brother being on YouTube. I have no problems with anybody doing those things. But understand that, dude, if you're really about trying to fix the conditions of the community, it's going to be a thankless task. You know, and like I said, real prophets, they know this is a thankless job, and that's where you, metaphorically speaking, you have to just leave it in God's hands. Let Him deal with the situation. You know, you just might be a forerunner, and you just a forerunner, or you just a player you just a player on the chessboard. But we know that we know that eventually every piece is going to be removed from the board at some point. You know, so you make as many
Very
moves
true.
as you can, and you know there's going to come a day you're going to have to either lay down. You know, there's one day you're going to lay down, and I think that's the most precious thing about it is what are people going to say about you after you're gone. I think that's the most beautiful thing is, that's your contribution to the world. That day when you lay your head down and everybody, when you, metaphorically speaking, when your book is closed and everybody has to tell a story about you, that's what you left behind.
Wow.
Did I answer your question or you want me to be
So
more direct?
no, absolutely. Um, we okay. You mentioned the black condition, right? Now on YouTube, we have a lot of talk about revolution and the black community and what we need to do, and you can go to anybody's channel and hear some of that shit, right?
Right.
Now, do you think that many of us we talk the talk, but I don't think many of us walk the walk. Um, it's impossible because we on YouTube too goddamn much to be out in the streets doing any damn thing. You know, I know me. I mean, I own a business, okay? And I hire brothers from the hood. Everybody who's ever worked with me, I think I only hired like maybe one or two guys that wasn't from the hood. So, I mean, I hire people from the hood, but that's kind of the extent of my whatever contribution.
That's still a good work. You're still
And let
doing a
me
good
and
thing.
let me tell you something. I'm willing to admit that I'm not one of them motherfuckers out there marching. I'm not out there doing community organizing. I'm not doing any of that shit. Now, I deal with all black distributors for my company. I do
Mhm.
that. But I'm not doing the revolutionary shit that a lot of people talk about on YouTube. So, am I alone? Am I But then again, I'm not a person who tells you to go out and do all this kind of bullshit either. But you have a lot of people who say, y'all need to go out there and y'all need to lead the community. Y'all need to clean up the community. Y'all need to do X, Y, and Z, okay, in the community. But we know that 90% of these people who are saying that, guess what they're not doing? They're not doing any of that shit in the community. Do you think it's too much of that on YouTube? Can YouTube stand less of that shit? The do as I say, not as I do shit.
I'll say it this way: is that the problem is that you got a lot of people on YouTube, right? And everybody's be able to voice their opinion, right? I will say that I will say it this way: it's not hard. It's kind of hard for me to determine that, but I do believe that people can get something out of it, and I do believe that if you're gonna talk about anything, just be genuine, be sincere. You know what I'm saying? Don't just give somebody some feel good shit. You know, for example, you got the black men ain't shit group. You got the black woman ain't shit group. You got the swirling group. Tell people the damn truth and let them make an intelligent decision. But don't cater to their feelings. And I think that's the real concern that I have is don't cater to a person's feelings. Tell them the god doggone truth so they can make an intelligent damn decision. I don't personally feel that the black community is really messed up. I think that the black community has too many foolish distractions. If I need foolishness in my life, I got television, I got YouTube, I got Hulu. I got Hulu. All the popular connections for entertainment. But I shouldn't have to come to a black oriented area and find more bullshit where everybody's talking about we supposed to fix the community, but yet the same person tell you about fix the community in a crazy way, almost as saying fuck the community at the same time while they're saying fix it.
That makes no sense. But there's a lot of double talk on this YouTube shit, and I think that I think many of us on YouTube, we talk it, and I include myself too. I mean,
Okay.
we talk this shit, and I think most of us believe the shit that we say. All right. I think
Very
most
much
of us,
so.
yeah, I think we believe the shit that we say. But I think our problem is not only convincing other people to believe it, but I think we come off at times that when we talking, we're also trying to convince ourselves too. So I think that when we grab onto these topics, many of us hang on the same topics. Many of us, we talk about the same shit. You can find 10, 15, 20 different YouTube personalities, and all the motherfucking videos be titled the same shit. All right.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's a lot of that. Do you think that YouTube would be better if we were more original? If everybody wasn't talking about what's going on with women, if everybody wasn't talking about what's going on with men, maybe put some politics in there, maybe put some health in there, maybe put some economic strategy in there. You know what I'm saying? I think there should be more of a variety on YouTube, especially in black YouTube, because black folks, we need a lot of different shit. And I
True.
think that many of us hang on too many of the same titles because they're clickbait, You know, they get the views in and all that kind of shit. So do you think a lot of us are just fucking carbon copies of each other? Are many of us carbon copies of each other?
Short answer, yes. But I will say this here is that there's nothing wrong with a carbon copy, but understand this here is that there's only a handful of originators in the world. You know, those are the real authors, and you can't duplicate that shit no matter which way you cut it, because they are the source of it. Now everybody else can come along and emulate it, but it's always a flaw to it. There's always a fundamental flaw to somebody who's just reciting or regurgitating what they've heard other people say. Am I correct? You can
Mhm.
always spot the flaw. But if you ever hear the original person ever speak about it, and like I said, there's only a handful of originators out here. You know, if you ever listen to them talk about it, you can't duplicate that shit, because you know it's coming from a place of sincerity. It's not somebody, oh, that's a good idea. I can try that. I can do that. I can do that. So let me do it. So it's good that you are inspiring people. And that's a great, that is a great way of reading, that you got people who can echo, who can echo, you know, to have an echo chamber. That's great. But the problem is with the echo chamber sometimes is that folk pick and choose what it is that they're willing to take on, which again brings you right back down to how sincere you really are. You know, like I said, dude, if you really truly are about the black community, you know that you put in your life, you are walking outside butt ass naked. It's the equivalent. You know, it's like jumping in the sea with no clothes on. You know,
Very true.
you can't, you know, as opposed to somebody who, you know, they make sure they bundled up before they go outside, so to speak. You know, you can't be secure in trying to fix the black community. It is an insecure position. The only thing you can have is your conviction and your trust in yourself that that any decision you make is gonna be the best decision that you can come up with.
So when
And
you put your material together, do you come up with these ideas yourself, or do you kind of, segue from, what's trending, if you will?
truth be honest, I try to make sure it's coming from me. And sometimes if you've ever watched any of my videos, sometimes those things they're just at the moment, but there's stuff that's been on my mind maybe for days, sometimes a week. Sometimes it's been on my mind for a lifetime. I finally just said something about it. You know, it's just me personally, me opening up my own mind and just sharing it with people.
Well, I know you and we travel in a lot of the same circles. We watch a lot of the same people. You know, we be in the same chat rooms and shit. Who are some of your favorites? Who are your go-to when you watch YouTube? You kind of click on their shit first. Who are your go-tos?
You really want me to say?
Yeah.
It's usually tech reviews. It's usually something in programming, you know, those type of things. I'm a nigga nerd, dog.
Mm.
But when it comes down to getting some substance, it's gonna be Professor Black Truth, Jason Black, maybe Tariq. I definitely will. I definitely will watch Tariq, but you know, after a while, you know, if you've listened to Nearly Fuller, you know exactly where all this stuff came from. I don't know how long you want to keep that up, because believe me, I hear about it. Um, but the thing is that you start to realize that, dude, like I said, you know, if you listen to Nearly Fuller, you know what other people getting their stuff from. Bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But other than from that point, I can watch. I can listen to BGS, LAR Movement,
Yeah.
and then from that point, everybody LAR Movement, Super Slide 75, and then after that, everybody else just is up for grabs.
Mm. Yeah, those are some of my favorite guys too, man. Um, I've gotten really in tune with Gab. I mean, brother Gab talk, man, because he seems different than the rest of us. You know, he's probably the most measured person on YouTube. He's really measured, man. He's like, this brother got the patience of a python, because he
Well,
puts out some
I
good
don't want to throw
bullshit.
Gab under the bus because I didn't say his name, but the truth of the matter is, Gab is my homeboy as far as I'm concerned on YouTube.
Yeah, man,
You
Gab
know,
is that
that's
dude.
he's that dude. And the thing about it, the first time I met Gab scared the shit out of me, because he was just too goddamn sincere. It was
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
You know, somebody you don't know is just that doggone sincere. Scary to me.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, shout out to freaking Gab Talk Media. Y'all need to get down there and subscribe.
No, Gab deserves it.
Yeah,
Gab deserves it.
That's my dude right there, man. I watch a lot of his shit.
And one thing that you know I do see that Gab does, he wants to get along and make sure everybody can kind of be a group, and that's good. But I kind of look at it like, you know, I know for a fact that, you know, us being a group ain't gonna always work well. So I look at it the same way most people look. You got to separate the weeds from the tare, and you know that's something Gab will say too. Me and Gab both on that spiritual vibe, and I guess it's the reason why me and him connect well. You know, I can talk to him about spirituality. He snaps and he understands that. You know, as opposed to some folk, what you mean talk about spirituality? Like, dude, you know, if you still think I'm talking about Jesus, God, heaven and earth, and the Bible, then you lost. You know, that's how I personally feel. But I will say this here, dude, is that I do feel like we are doing a good work, and I do feel like I do feel that we're all doing a great work out here. I do want us to understand that, dude, is that there's more to this thing more than just saying whatever the hell is on your mind and not not making sure that it snaps in the other person's mind, because everything you say, somebody else is picking up on it, and they probably may take it serious. I mean, they may take it and digest this into their own thinking, their own reason, their own logic. Make sure it's not tainted. You know, understand that anytime a person lends you their psyche for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, over how long your commentary is, that is a currency that you should never, that's a level of trust that you should never ever violate. And that's something, you know, people do it all the time out, you know, in regular media, but among Black people, we should not do that to each other. Especially when you understand all the confusion, all the frustrations that we have gone through, and all the philosophies and arguments that we could come up with. I would hope more people will learn how to just sort that shit out. You know, let people understand that, you know, sure, Black men got some problems, sisters got the problems, but you ever think that maybe sometimes the way you act, sister, make that brother feel a certain way? You know, you may think a brother don't have no feelings, but brother got emotions too. And sometimes you might say something stupid, and he'd be like, I got to be careful because I don't want to lose this chick. But at the same time, you know, I can't imagine having kids with this crazy ass girl. You get what I'm saying? So the brother might step back a little bit, and you start acting stupid, and the next minute you saying, screaming, he ain't a real man, and you don't realize you done shut this brother down 2 weeks ago. And only thing you just seeing is a shell of a person who you liked originally, but that person kind of left you. Am I lying?
Absolutely not.
You know, I mean, like I said, huh?
Do we risk that though? Like, do we risk not taking YouTube serious enough, or do we risk taking it too seriously?
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're gonna do comedy, comedy, just do comedy. You know what I'm saying? But if you on the pro-Black shit, don't make it lighthearted, and don't do what some brothers do. Don't turn it into somewhat of a joke. You know what I'm saying? And I know the way my voice may sound like, are you so serious? No, I'm just saying to do is that don't hop on some panels and, you know, a Black issue, then all of a sudden you want to spin it into some bullshit, and next minute you got a colorful cast of bullshitters. You know, as opposed to having some brothers who really, instead of getting down to the real shell of it. In other words, I'm saying, understand that when it comes down to us and us being a culture and us creating some type of cohesion amongst ourselves, be serious about that shit. Understand, you know, we're family. Be it we don't like each other or not, we're family, and there's a thing called trust. And I think sometimes we forget that when somebody gives you the trust, that you have to be trustworthy. You have to show a thing called being trustworthy. And sometimes you don't always get that with some people.
So let me ask you your take on this, because here lately, I've noticed that there's that whole male, well, let me put it in specifics. That whole Black male, Black female thing has came back up. It had died down for a little bit. Now it's right back. You know, everybody's talking about how black men and black women relate, how they deal with each other. What is your take on that particular conversation?
Well, my take is because I try to listen to both ends of it, be I like the person what they saying or not. I try to figure out. I try to get down to the root of the problem. You know, that's something really really tough, but that's something I've learned from just being a tech. You know, you realize learning how to program, you got to get to the root of the problem, and sometimes the root of the problem means that sometimes you're gonna have to redo the whole doggone program. You feel me? Um, but the thing is that I don't know how to really answer that question, but I'm gonna try my best to answer your question. But I see it this way: is that a handful of us need to learn how to just get to the root of these problems. People ain't gonna like what's gonna come up, but just be as sincere as you can. Now, understand, dude. Now, don't get it wrong. There's some brothers who, like I said, they be on the BS, but they do make good arguments. You can't deny that. But at the same time, can somebody are there people who are actually doing social media? Are you willing to step up and try to make sense of it? And even though you may be cool with that other person, hey, I feel you, but guess what? I'm just that devoted about making sure that we fix our damn problems. You may not like me saying your name a couple of times, but maybe you'll learn in the future not to say some shit so I don't have to say your name. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the problem is in the black community when it comes on YouTube. We don't have a we haven't we haven't established a governing system, and because of that reason, everybody can fire off and say what they want to say. And I realize they do. Nobody really meets with each other or orchestrate or organize together before they even make some of this commentary. They just do it.
Well, I kind of think about, YouTube and all of media. What it has done is it's made everybody think and feel that, they are a star in their own damn mind.
Oh, I see
So
what you're saying now. Okay.
yeah, everybody's a star. All I got to do is turn this camera on and this microphone on, and I'm talking, and then people are watching. Yeah, whether it's 5 people, 500 people, or 5,000 people, someone's watching.
Right.
So I think that, oftentimes not only do we have the people who watch the content creators somewhat addicted to what they're seeing. I think us as content creators, I think we get a little addicted to making the material, addicted to
Oh,
having
okay.
people
Now I see your
listen to,
question.
listening to us.
Let me ask you a
So
question.
go ahead.
How do you? I'm gonna tell you how I deal with mine. You tell me how you deal with yours. Usually when
Okay.
you get those, that euphoria sometimes. When you done something and you get a lot of raving views on it, a lot of thumbs up. How do you handle it?
Well, what I do is I take it all with a grain of salt.
Right.
Um, if I get a show, like I do some streams, I get 200 views, then I get another stream where I get 2,000. So I mean, I look at it all the same. I feel like if I'm getting more views, that means I'm talking about something that more people are interested in. If I'm getting less views, that means I'm talking about something that people aren't as interested in. So I look at it like that. I try not to take YouTube that seriously. Okay. I've been doing YouTube for about 4 or 5 years now. And I was doing it when I didn't have none of this other shit that I got. I mean, now I have computers and microphones and mixed boards and all this kind of nonsense. But I was doing this YouTube crap when I didn't have any of that. When I just had a little bullshit $10 camera and put it
Right.
in front of like a screen and be talking with some corny music with it. So I do this because I enjoy doing it. I mean, the donations that I get, I mean, I get a few, but I would do it even if I wasn't getting donations because I was doing it when I wasn't getting donations. So, I
Okay.
mean, I do it for the joy of it. Um, I don't let YouTube hamper the rest of my life because if I'm coming from my shop and I get in too late, I'm not doing no damn show. All right. I only do a stream every Wednesday and Thursday anyway, and some Wednesdays I don't do them at all. So I see this as recreation. This is like a release for me. where I can get up here, talk shit, bullshit with some of the bros, tackle some serious shit sometime, get on here, talk shit about women, talk shit about baby mamas, talk shit about cars, talk shit about marriage, talk shit about, that's kind of my thing. I'm one of those people who you will look at and be like, X is serious, but he's not that serious about YouTube. He's really not. I say this all the time. Somebody launched a missile into YouTube headquarters tonight.
No, that's cool. That's cool because
Yeah.
you show different aspects of your personality.
Yeah, it wouldn't affect my bottom line.
I'm aware of that. I just don't do it. I just don't do it because I've learned that is that if you know what you're up to, you know what you're really about, you understand there's certain aspects about you that you can't let other people know. Or there's certain aspects about yourself you can't release. But the way I usually handle it, and let me tell you this, I got videos. I got some videos you'll never see the light of day. They got some heavy views on them. But the thing about it is that I realized, dude, I realized that I went back sometimes and watched those videos again and asked myself, is this really how I want the world to see me?
Yeah, I got it because I got a few videos that I've had up that I've taken down. I got videos that I've made that I've never put up, so I get that.
I got those
because,
too.
Yeah, I got videos that I made. I probably got about 50 videos that I made that I've never put on YouTube. Like, I sit back and I watch it with my wife and shit like that, that kind of shit. They've never made their way to YouTube. And it's not even so much of what I think other people would think about me. It's what I think about myself. That's what keeps me from, putting them up on here and shit. Like, I don't need to put that up on it. This is for my entertainment only.
Right.
So
I kind of worry about the two. I kind of worry about the two. So I kind of marry them together. I personally do. I bottom line is I just do my videos. And what I do is I just put out there what it is that I really feel like. Sometimes I do multiple takes. And sometimes because most of the time I don't write them down, I'll do multiple takes and I'll ask myself, is this really what I want to say? Right. And then sometimes I'll just like hold my breath and just release it and just see how it goes. And sometimes they flop, sometimes they go up, but the ones that really flop, I usually take them, really throw them back. Then the ones I realize that, this is really what I want people to see are the ones that don't get the most views, But the way I usually handle it, dude, I just realized, dude, you never know if it can you never know where it's going to lead you, So make sure so for me, I just try to make sure that I just present the best version of me that I want the world to see, just like everybody else. We got some sides we don't want people to know about, and I got some crazy ideas that are scare the shit out of people. And it's like, I don't want to, it's one of those days where I don't want to scare people. I don't want to turn people off of me for too much, So I just usually, just like I said, I just drop videos that I think that really, really be most important for people. And I leave it that way.
Yeah, I get that too. It's crazy because some of the videos that you think would hit hard, they don't.
They never do. They never do.
Yeah, they don't. And the ones
why?
The ones that you're like, them the shits that get all the views.
do you know why? Because most of our people are conditioned for entertainment.
Yes.
And then trying to break that conditioning, it's not, like I said, it's one of them jobs, like I said, it's a thankless job, trying to break that conditioning to get people to actually sit down and listen to somebody for 20 and 30 minutes, or sometimes 2 and 3 hours on a lecture, or listen to lectures for 6 hours. It's not easy for some people. They can't do it. Personally, I've listened to lectures from like Harvard, Yale, on just psychology, different perspectives. I could listen to those names for like hours because that's what my attention is. But what I started to realize, dude, when I try to like even try to take those ideas and share them with other people, most people don't get them. It's like, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, I don't want to watch that. That's too flat. And I guess because of the way my tone is, I'm not really a turned up person. So it's like, it's kind of like, he's just flat. He really ain't on that hype. But like I said before, if you ever watched any of my old videos, I've taken them all down pretty much. But if you ever caught them back in the day, believe me, I was really on that hype shit. And like at that point, I realized it was kind of I realized that this is not really what I wanted to present to the world. I'll be cursing, I'll say some stuff that really be offhand, but I will go in on a person and say my thoughts or say whatever, didn't care, because that's really how I am. But then I realized that, based on, because you start to get the comments and everything, you read the comments and people like what you're doing. And I realized that sometimes, if you let this go to your head too far, you might be allowing people to egg you on in the wrong direction. So you have to sit back and ask yourself the inner question: who am I, and what is it I really want to present to people?
It's true. Very, very true. Do you think it's room? Is it room? Because we primarily talk about Black YouTube. Do you think it's room for people on YouTube who just don't talk, the Black paradigm, the Black society, the Black this, the Black that? Is it room for people on YouTube who are Black, but they don't talk about that shit? They talk about other shit. Maybe they're comedians. Maybe they just people up there just jerking off or whatever, not really doing anything seriously. Is there room for those people in Black YouTube, or does every single Black person on YouTube have to talk Black stuff?
No. Short answer. Now, that'll bring me back to one of the questions you asked me before. I'll say it this way. Like I said, dude, if you're going to talk about the Black community, you're going to have to be serious, and it's not going to be a job. You got to be a certain way about that job, as opposed to if you want to talk about self-help and all that kind of stuff and do that, great. We need that too, because there's so many variations to us, and many of us need that type of exposure too. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff, dude, like, for example, in the tech world of technology, I feel like I really feel like I'm doing the Black community a disadvantage on YouTube for me not even talking about tech stuff. Because when you go to search through YouTube, it's only a handful of us doing it. There's more of us talking bullshit on YouTube than there is actually talking about tech stuff in the world, or talking about self-help, or better yet, talk about how to actually have a successful marriage.
Mm.
That's the things I want to see us talk about. I want to see us talk about politics and us talking about politics and from different perspectives, as opposed to the constant, it's a struggle, it's a hard struggle. It's great that we talk that way, but understand that, dude, sometimes you wrap people's minds around that shit for so damn long, it becomes a dark tunnel for them, and they tune out, and the first damn thing they look for is entertainment. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm trying to say overall is that I think one thing about most YouTubers: be responsible and understand that you have a duty to educate your audience. However how you want to do it, but educate your audience and be responsible how you do it. I know I sound serious when I'm doing it, but everybody has a different way of expressing themselves. Express it and show yourself the best of who you are. That's what I really like to see people do. I think that's one of the things I really like about Super Sly the most. Super Sly, he's in his own little category. But the cool thing about it is, it's exposure. I mean, it's things you never thought about, but it's cool. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like Brother Super Sly too. I fuck with Super Sly, man.
I mean, I don't see how nobody can't fuck with Super Sly.
Yeah, I like Super Sly, man. He's one of those people, because he's been on the Hours of Power. I mean, everybody's been on here, believe it or not. Because my channel's small. I don't have this great big old channel. I mean, my channel is small.
My channel's small too, brother.
But everybody has been on here. I mean, literally. I mean, because I had you talk about tech. I've had Black Brain Trust on here, members of the Black Brain Trust. I've had Keep It Techie on here. So I mean, I get people from all sectors coming on here. And
it's funny that you bring up the Black Brain Trust, because originally I was one of the original members.
Oh shit! So what happened? What happened, man?
I'm still in touch with everybody, dude. It's just that I will be real with you. Their level of energy is not the same level as mine. I mean, I have to keep up with them. I'm like, I can't run y'all race because I got so many other things going on in my day. But I'm glad that them brothers focus on that shit all the damn time, and they get along. You see what I'm saying? I mean, Mike V. Shout out to Mike V. Shout out to Lionel. Lionel's like the main. Is like the main Lionel. Dude. For anybody want to know, Lionel is the main.
He's been
one.
On here. Brother
Well,
Gant's been on here.
Complex. That's another main one. Dollar Will. Those are the main.
Yep.
Those are the main
Yep.
dudes. I mean, originally
Dollar
I was.
Will's
I'm
been
not saying
on.
originally I was
Dollar
a part of
Will's
the
been
group,
on
but I
here
was like,
too.
I was invited. One of the main
Yeah.
people they invited. But the beautiful thing about it is they have grown. And the cool thing about it is they may not be popular, but you know what? They keep a steady drum beat going. And it's working for them.
Yeah, it is.
And I appreciate it. I tune into them too.
Yeah, we should be listening to more of that shit and less of this nonsense. But well, I'm talking to myself, y'all. I'm not. Y'all can watch whatever the hell y'all want. I should say, I should be watching more of it and less of this nonsense.
But you got the nonsense is addictive. It's a drug for us.
Yeah, we need to see some fuckery from time to time. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, I look at some shit just for the bullshit and the nonsense. Sometimes you feel like looking at nonsense, sometimes you don't, So I mean, it's something that we're always going to see. It's never going to be a point where there's no BS. I mean, that's just not the way it is, especially with us black folks. We're gonna have some BS in the mix. Okay, if it's 100 of us in a crowd, at least 2 of us ain't worth a shit. So
I'm gonna say this here. Like for example, this might get me in trouble, but I don't care. Obsidian is like one of those necessary evils. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, it's toxic, right? But you also know in a crazy way, it actually helps push back other bullshit.
Yeah, it does.
So
I fuck with Obsidian. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with Obsidian. I be on his panels and all that kind of bullshit. So I fuck with Obsidian. He's one of my favorites. He's definitely in one of my top 5s. I listen to Obsidian when I be at work and shit. When I'm working, I have him on, inside the shop and shit. Motherfuckers be in the shop rolling.
Hey, I would be rich, dude. Obsidian is that dude. O'Shea, you know what's funny about O'Shea? I've always known who O'Shea was, but to me, I know if he hear this, dude, I'm gonna try to help you out with this one. O'Shea to me was like this fucking clown that I would tune in from time to time and watch his bullshit and be like, this is some bullshit. Turn it off, right? This is some bullshit. Turn it off. And then eventually I just didn't watch O'Shea, but for some real reason, I always knew who O'Shea was, right?
Mm.
But I mean, this is like, I'm talking like back. I'm talking. You gotta keep in mind. I've been listening to. I don't know how long you've been like tuning into YouTube, but I remember when Jason Black first came out.
Mm.
Okay. I remember when Tommy Sotomayor. I got somebody tuned me into to Tommy originally, right? And I'm listening to Tommy. I like some of the stuff what Tommy was saying, but to me he was like the only black guy on YouTube as far as I'm concerned, because I didn't know there was this whole universe out there until I made them damn videos and everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy? But Tommy was like one of those dudes. In fact, I used to reach out to Tommy. And then I realized Tommy was a bit of an asshole on the back end, because I used to say, hey man, if you need help with your graphics, I'll help you out. And a couple of times I did some videos. I did some commentary not commentary. I would do work for Tommy, but then Tommy, like, he was just fucking with me, come to find out. You know what I'm saying? He would have me do this thing called Tales from the Steps. So I did this graphics thing for him. He liked it. He's like, well, you need to have this. And finally I realized, this is some bullshit. This nigga just fucking with me. Right. But then there was other people like what's that guy, Scotty Reed. I used to listen to them. I used to listen to actually the other guy was come on, brother. You gotta help me with his name. I'm really slow on these names right now. The older gentleman, T West.
Oh yeah, Afro Synergy.
T West actually do 5 years, almost like 8 years ago, was one of the main guys. Like, you need to come on to YouTube and just do your videos. I'm like, I'm kind of scared. I don't know what to do. He's like, just hold your breath, turn the camera on, and just start talking. And I'm like, I can't do that because him and Tommy seemed professional to me.
Yes.
They were putting their effort in. So it was like, I how can I compete with this shit? And I'm thinking I'll probably be like the third guy on the YouTube, on social media. But then after that, a couple of days later, like probably about a week, 2 weeks later, Jason Black came out. Actually, I saw the first video from Professor Black Truth. I think it was called something about Black America with the heart. You know, it was a picture of a black woman, the heart of America, heart of Black America type thing. I was watching this stuff, and then eventually, I was looking for other stuff to watch on YouTube, and I came across something from a guy they call the Black Authority. So I started following him on social media. This is back, I'm talking about back when these guys had like 100 followers, numbers like that. And look how they have grown. And the funny thing about it is most of them have never changed their beat. Jason Black,
True.
as funny as it seems, he has never changed his story. But if you look at it, he deserves a lot more. He deserves a lot more credit on social media than he's getting. And it's funny because he's just starting to get it now. Back, this brother had like 25,000, like 5,000 followers for like months, almost a year. Then it grew a little bit more. Then finally, he's up close. I think he's like close to 60,000 now, or probably at 65,000. But it shouldn't have, and in my personal opinion, it should have never taken him 10 years to get there if the black community really was that goddamn devoted or serious about something. To me, that's like telling me that black people are really not that serious about what really should matter to them. We don't really care about being informed. Like if you like,
do you think we are fickle? Are we a fickle people? Like, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there.
I think
there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are underrated, because I know there's a few brothers that I watch that do really, really good shit, but they got really, really small numbers. I mean, their subscriber count is lower than mine. And I look at these brothers, I'm like, damn, people should be watching this brother. But I mean, we're fickle. We kind of pick and choose, who we want to listen to, who we want to watch. What I think happens is a lot of us, we have a tendency to relate to some things and other things we don't really relate to. And I think
this is what I think really happens.
Go ahead.
Conspiracy theory is that you have a few people on there, I said, who may work for YouTube, who have a little button that they push for approval button, so to speak. And I think they push it when they want people to go up, and they push it on people who they want to go down.
You think?
Because sometimes, you know why I say that? Because sometimes if you do your little homework around some people who follow you and stuff, sometimes the timings don't add up. I've had people comment on my videos who watch I get a comment from something like 2 days ago. Like it come up to be recent, right? But they watched the video like 2 or 3 days ago or a week ago. I'm not saying they didn't just finally post a comment, but sometimes the views and numbers don't add up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it's funny because when I originally came out here to do my first video, I think I got like 23,000 views. Not 2,300 views. First video. Second video, 2,300 views. Like 2,000 views. My views originally came out with like in the thousands first. And then all of a sudden, that shit just shot down to like 50, 100, 200. And it's been like that ever since.
Yeah, I mean, I see that too. You see the fluctuations in your subscribers. I mean, I look at my subscribers and I done lost 10, and then I look back next week, I done gained 50. I done gained, and you see this stuff and you don't really pay much attention. You just kind of go on, but you do notice these crazy fluctuations when it comes to freaking YouTube, and for whatever reason, I think YouTube is kind of watching everyone.
I don't think they kind of watch. I know they watching.
And they pick and choose who they want to fuck with too.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that they, and what the funny thing about it, that just goes to show that we still got a middleman between us, and that's the reason why I think we should at least start finding multiple platforms that we represent that are our own, and donate money. Have offerings for those people, raise money for them so they can get the type of programmers and researchers, people that help them set their stuff up properly. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the two popular ones that are online, I'm not going to give too much, but they're out of the box, so to speak. Websites, you can download them. I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, but you can download them off the net and critique them and modify them to what you want them to. And even then, I think those are kind of scary because The code is out there. The source code is available. Anybody can access the source code. Anybody who want to do anything malicious to you, like if you notice a lot of when they say they got hacked a few times, because everybody know your source code.
Mm.
You know, there's a couple of commands I can do, and I see your shit pop up because you didn't really know, and you're not really tech savvy. You had an idea, you had a vision, that's cool, but you weren't tech savvy enough to look over it and have somebody to start modifying, or get somebody who, or find a hacker somewhere who could fix the problems, fix your breaks in your system. You see what I'm saying? Before you made it your own. And I think that was one of the biggest setbacks for a lot of those people. But I do believe that, again, if we were really serious about sticking it to the white man, you would figure it out. The first thing Black YouTube would do and say, you know what? Even though we might be on YouTube, we know at some point we're gonna have to go somewhere. You know, don't let them burn down your shit over here, burn down the platforms that you worked hard for them to make, and then they still can regulate you at any given time. You see what I'm saying? You would think by now we would at least, I mean, think about all the money really Black folk have made out here on social media, donations, videos, all that kind of stuff. You would think by now at least we would have had a search engine where you can at least pull us up out of. You know, you can find out find out who's who in Black social media. You think we would have that by now? We don't.
Is that by design? Do you think that's by design, or have we just been lackluster on our efforts to make it happen?
Lackluster, because you know what, you know, if you're gonna build, doing research and development from my own experiences is all about trial and error. I mean, you're gonna be trying stuff multiple times. It's not gonna be a first. It's not like when you watch like Iron Man, he got the shit together the first time. No, it's gonna be trial and error, and based off of your experiences, it's gonna mean how better you're gonna be at solving problems. But if you won't have the experience of solving problems, you're gonna suck at trial and error. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about the Black community collectively, we're not accustomed to trial and error, and we don't realize that that's part of the learning. That's part of the learning. That's part of learning. You got to go through trial and error. I mean, think about everybody who's on comeback, everybody you know in history either lost their lives or been put to some type of disadvantage. And then you get other brothers coming, I don't want that to happen to me. So you avoid it. But instead of you look at it and say, you know what, that happened to him. Let me, you see how far this person has already achieved, how far they got. Now, you know, at this point, you know, there's going to come a day somebody going to take a shot at you. You know, you might need to start wearing a bulletproof vest and stop showing up everywhere. You see what I'm saying? I.e. Nipsey Hussle. You know, but everybody came out, oh, that's just a terrible thing. I'm like, come on, bro. You know, the guy's a famous guy. He's doing a good work. At some point, somebody going to take a shot at you. You should know that by now.
True. Very, very
you know,
true.
I would rather just be a white man directly, at least in, you know, instead of being covertly done through one of us, I would rather just be a white man next time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, make it hard as fuck for people to, to fuck with you. And I think that's something Black folk don't understand, is that people gonna fuck with you regardless in this world. That's just how the world works. But the thing is, you got to make yourself almost unfuckable.
Yeah. I think many of us don't know how to do that, though. I mean, we know how to fuck with other people, but we don't.
No, we know how to fuck with each other.
Yeah, we know how to do that.
We know how to fuck with each other.
That's true. That's true.
Because
we know how to do that.
Because you know what? As soon as it's time to talk about that white man on here, ain't nobody got shit to say.
Yeah, well, you know, if you watch any of my shit, you know, I say this all the time. I think a lot of us, we love, not only do we love white folks, we fear them and idolize them all at the same time. So, I mean,
here's another opinion. I think that they have made I think they knew how to scare. I think they knew how to fuck. Oh boy, I'm tripping. I think that they have grabbed a piece of our mind that we know how to just completely dismiss them when they're not around. You know, to quickly dismiss them, acknowledging when they're standing before us and dismiss them when they're gone. And we gotten so good at it that we don't even realize that sometimes he be in the middle of all our damn problems. Think about it. Our YouTube, again, we complain about stuff, but we forget we don't control YouTube.
Nope.
YouTube actually controls us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because we don't own this shit, you know, and I've said this before too. Like, you know, we sit up here and we talk shit about the white man while we get on an internet that we pay white folks for, get on a platform that we pay white folks for. And guess what? They can pull the plug on your black ass whenever they feel like it. I mean, like that. We've seen it.
No reason.
Yep.
Oh, and it's like, well, because you didn't meet our guidelines, so can you please specify? You just didn't meet the guidelines. That's fine enough. There we go. We made them vague as possible so we can do what the hell we want to do. But they're up there. Yeah. If you want to read them.
They did the shit to me. I mean, they took my damn super chat away from me. They just took the shit over some bullshit. Like, I'm like, what the hell, man? This doesn't make any sense. They just took it. Not that hurt me because I'm still doing it. It's been gone like almost 2 months now. Hasn't stopped me from doing it. But the fact that they did something like that for such an infinitesimal reason was like, really? So
I'm gonna make you laugh. I've been on YouTube now for about 2 years. I just cracked 1,000 yesterday. But I got videos with tens of thousand views.
Yeah.
But I just cracked 1,000 views. What's wrong with that picture? Because most of the time when people see somebody got a slew of videos, the first thing they do is subscribe.
Yeah. But I say again, man, we are a fickle people, man. We are. I don't know. I mean, I don't usually watch a lot of the shit that I'm not subscribed to. I mean, I do some, surfing, some YouTube surfing, if you can call it that, and check out some things. But most of the shit that I watch, if I'm not watching, some science shit or, some mechanical engineering type shit, most of the shit I watch is, brothers that I'm subscribed to. I mean, that's most of the shit I watch when I'm watching. So you would think, if you got a video with 10,000 views on it, you would assume that you got, at least 6,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers. You would think that at least half of those
think that you would get between 1 to 10% of those people would join. If we want to look at the analytics, you know what? The funny thing about it is, most of my analytics always show is coming from usually I get views from people who are unsubscribed. I get views from people who are unsubscribed. And sometimes my subscribers are not watching my content supposedly, but yet I got a lot of people who are not watching my content. I was like, do I suck, or is this somebody trying to encourage me to just get off YouTube? You see?
Yeah, you got people watching you, but they're not subscribed to your shit. So the people who are subscribed, they're just not watching. So why the hell are they subscribed? A lot of questions. There's a lot of questions when it comes to this media shit and YouTube, and and I think that a lot of the things that have taken place on YouTube, in the recent years, has a lot to do with us. I think it has a lot to do with the material we put out.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, the material we put out, the amount of material we put out, who we are, our popularity or our lack thereof. All that shit is part of the, that's all part of the big, that's part of the big freaking bag of things, that kind of, because I know, they're watching this part. And what people don't understand, and I've said this before too, like, this part of YouTube, if you can call it a part of YouTube, is very small, and not just small in YouTube in general. It's small in Black YouTube.
Yeah, it's a small universe.
I mean, it's not even a drop in the bucket. It's a drop in the fucking Pacific Ocean. So it's like, sometimes I think we get that confused too, brother Loadkast, because we think that, this section of YouTube is YouTube.
But no, let me just keep it with you. When I tried to get an idea of how many subscribers, how many Black subscribers might be out there really floating around, like the pro-Black type people that we could probably cater to, it's over 1 million. I can tell you that it's over 1 million. It's over 1 million. But the interesting thing about it, like I said, the bottom line is, I will say this about Black YouTube: if you want to really compete on the level that on the level that we should, some of us will have to clean up. Even I myself, a lot of us, you're gonna have to put some commercial to it. I will say have two channels: have a commercialized, YouTube friendly channel, and then the channel where you just get down on, kind of like your after dark channel. You know, where you say what you want to say, do what you want to do. It. If they want to ding it, that's fine. But don't play with my commercial channel.
Gotcha.
You know?
It makes sense, man. Well, I mean, it was good to have you on, man. This fucking hour went by quick as hell, man.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. You know, don't be no stranger, man. You know, we get down every Thursday night. Now, Thursday nights are different. See, this is more, you know, laid back, you know, kind of late night with David Letterman-esque. But
it's cool. I like that. We need that.
Yeah. But Thursdays are a little crazy. I call those the berserker barrages because, you know, I have all kinds of usual.
No, I don't listen to you. I don't heard you cussing, not cursing, cussing on Thursday nights.
You must watch on Thursdays. It get crazy on Thursdays because, you know, I have a whole cast of characters that come through on Thursday.
Bro, I be tuning to people. I just don't always say nothing. I usually I'll tune in and do something else.
Yeah, believe it or not, like I said, the old T.P.O.T YouTube page is small, but fucking everybody's been on here. I mean, everybody, and I do mean everybody. The only people who haven't been on here is the people that I don't fucking want on here.
I heard you say that before. Hey, I want to thank you for allowing me to come on, bro. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother Loadkast, man. You need to stop through on a Thursday night, man, and talk shit with the usual suspects, man. It's a lot of fun, man.
All right, I'll tell you what, send me another invitation and we'll set up another date.
All right, I got it, man. I appreciate you coming through, brother. This was good, man. And you know, I'm gonna be checking out your shit. And all you folks out there, get on down there. Go ahead and subscribe to Brother Loadkast's channel. I mean, y'all heard him talk for this past hour. The brother's obviously very articulate, intelligent, down to earth. Get your black behinds down there and subscribe or stop watching my shit.
Thank you so much. I want to send a shout out to let me send a shout out to Art, thank you, man. I see you. Nicole Ali, I see you. Tony Smith, you've been following me all day. Shout out to you too. And definitely shout out to everybody else on the panel who I didn't call out. But y'all have a good night. I'm out.
All right. Peace, brother.
All right.
Yeah, just got off the line with Brother Loadkast up in here on the old. Yeah. So next up is the Thinking Man's Templar. I don't know if he's in the house yet, and we're supposed to be having Uncle Ruckus later. Now that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So I don't know if you in the chat room, Thinking Man's Templar. I did send you the link, my brother. So go ahead and check your email because that's up in there. All right. Hopefully we didn't get our times mixed up, because I know a lot of times brothers be in Mountain Time and Eastern Time and Central Time, and you know, we get things mixed up. So maybe we might have got it mixed up. Him and I did speak via email, so he does know he's supposed to come up on here tonight. So but what I'm going to do, I'm going to give him a little time to, guess, figure out whether or not he's supposed to be on here or not. Yeah, but Brother Loadkast he said a lot of things that are really important, man. He said that we should be, you know, kind of taking things, you know, a little more seriously. I mean, maybe taking ourselves a little more seriously. Maybe we should be doing that, you know, on this YouTube stuff, you know, because I've thought about that myself, you know. But I mean, the old T.P.O.T YouTube page, our main function is to try to make you think, man, you know, not necessarily think like me or think like the people that I have, you know, on the stream, but to think, period. I mean, I'm good with that. If I've gotten you to think a little bit, mission complete. Okay. Because I know I can't control y'all folks, just like y'all can't control my black ass. But what I can do is try to put something out there to maybe make you think, if not make you think more, maybe it'll make you think a little different. Okay. That's what this has always been about me. You know, I like to make people think. I like to come from things from a little bit of a different angle, you know, and make folks think about shit, man. You know, it's not always about me changing your mind. It's more about me opening it. Okay. Y'all know the theme. The same three words that's always been ever since the old T.P.O.T YouTube page has been started. Open your minds. That's what it's always been about. That's what it's always going to be about. And that's pretty much the crux of it. You know, I may open your mind and make you think to yourself, damn, I don't like X shit. I don't like the shit he talks about. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like any of that. Hey, maybe I've opened your mind and made you realize you don't want to watch this shit no more. I don't know. Maybe I've opened your mind and made you realize, damn, I need to watch more of X. Or maybe I've opened your mind and make you want to watch somebody else. I don't know. But I just want you to open your mind. And if you have an open mind, it's always a doorway for new ideas to come in if the mind is open. That's what I'm getting at. Um, I don't know what the hell happened to Thinking Man's Templar. So what I'm going to do is, I see my brother Art in the house. I think I'm gonna bring old Art on. You know, because you know me, I'll do things on the draw. You know, I'll do things on the drop. You know, maybe just maybe if Art, if you still in the you're still watching, let me know. You know, maybe I'll just open the panel up. Maybe I'll just open the panel up and get some folks up here and we'll just chop it up. Plus, it doesn't look like the Thinking Man Templar. I know I know the brother's like a truck driver or something like that, I think. So he's probably on the road. Um, yeah. So if any of y'all want to come up here and shoot your shot, come on up here. We're gonna turn it into a freestyle. You know me, I'll do things on the fly. You want to come up here, you want to talk some shit, you want to say something, because I know we haven't done we haven't done the hours of power in like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks since I did an hours of power show. So, you know, maybe people didn't know I was really going to do it. I don't know. But if y'all want to come up here, just let me know, because you know here on YouTube, everybody has everybody's email. So if you want to come up here, just let me know. I'll send you an email, because you know, more than likely I got your shit. Okay. And that goes not just for the brothers, it goes for the sisters too. I got some sisters out there. Y'all want to come up on here, just let me know. We'll go ahead and we'll rock out. But if not, you know, I'll just sit up here and run my damn mouth. It's what I'm good at, running my damn mouth. Talking shit. All right. But yeah, I was thinking that, you know, but see, I always give y'all different looks anyway. I mean, I'm always kind of changing the old T.P.O.T YouTube page anyway. I mean, that's why this is the Prophet of Thought series. There's like 7, 8, 9 series, you know, where we talking about this, that, and the other thing. I actually just put another series up. Y'all need to go check it out. It's called the Old Mama series. Now, y'all know how X is about these old mamas. So now we have an Old Mama series up on the Prophet Thought series. So you might want to get on up there and check that out as well. Yeah, we got that up there now. That's like series number 8 or 9, or I don't even know. But you know, I'm always trying to give y'all different looks also. Um, also the Panty Dropper series is kind of on hiatus, y'all, because I have material, okay, to put up there, but I haven't really had time to like put it all together. Y'all notice, y'all look on my channel, y'all don't see a lot of pre-recorded shit either, because you know that shit takes time, and this time of year, man, I just really don't have the time to put it down. I'm gonna make time, hopefully this week I'm going to have something on the Panty Dropper series, absolutely, because I got a lot of vocals. I got a few women that I've kind of teamed up with. You know, they've given me some sound effects. I'm not going to mention their names. If they want to tell you, they can tell you. But I have actually I have quite a few women who have given me some vocals for the Panty Dropper series. And I think y'all are gonna like it when y'all go to watch it, you know, because I'm gonna put it together and edit it and make it nice for y'all. But I don't know. Some of the voices you may recognize, some you may not. I don't know. But like I said, I got quite a few vocals from some of the ladies right here on media. And yeah, I got some stuff that I've put together. They just need some finishing touches on it, and y'all will be able to go over to the Panty Dropper series, man, and kind of check it out, man. And I think you'll get a kick out of it. You know, that's the ladies. That is. It ain't for you brothers. If you are signed to my Patreon, that's some old homosexual shit, because it's not for you. Yeah, that ain't for the brothers. It's not. It's the Panty Dropper series is something that, somebody, well, let me say this, a few somebodies have been trying to get me to do it for quite some time. I finally relented, and now I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be telling stories. I'm going to be telling some very exotic stories, stories that's going to make you hot around the collar, because I know how to do it. Yeah, I know how to do it. So, you ladies are interested, join that Patreon page and talking about stuff that women like to hear or want to hear. You will be hearing a lot of what you want to hear, but not what you think. Okay? Not what you think. All right? The ladies will be hearing shit they want to hear, but probably not what everybody's thinking when I say that. But you'll have to join the Patreon page to find out. Like I said, this week we're gonna get it up and rolling because it's been up there for a while, and I haven't put no material up there. There's like a couple promo videos up there. That's it. But I'm gonna put some material up there. Y'all know there's different tiers. I think it's a $10 tier, $25 tier, and a $50 tier that's full of heat. So if you want to be part of that Panty Dropper series, go right ahead and join the Patreon. Yeah, join the Patreon because it's on. As a matter of fact, if you're thinking about it right now, go ahead. Here it is. Putting it in the chat right now. Right. Go ahead, check that out, and you'll get the gist of what it's about. All right. And also, if you're feeling generous, go ahead and drop a few coins in the bucket right here. See it coming up. Panty Dropper series and the old Streamlabs. No, brother Joey Crack. I don't know what happened to the Thinking Man's Templar. He had wrote me and he said he might be on the road. So that's what I'm thinking happened. We have been communicating, via email, and he might be on the road. He might just be on the road, but he did say he was going to come through. He did say he was going to come through. He was telling me that he may be driving during this time. So I don't know. And I don't even remember what time zone he's in. So, I mean, I said 10:30. Shit, he might be on the other side of the country. So, you know what I'm saying? So, we get kind of mixed up with that bullshit sometimes. But he did say it was coming through. So I don't know what happened, brother Joey. I have no idea. But like I said, what I am willing to do, I'm willing to open the panel up For anybody who want to come up on, just let me know if you want to come on here or not. Because see, I was supposed to have, I haven't heard from Uncle Ruckus either. He was supposed to come on tonight. I haven't heard from him. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, these things happen on this YouTube shit, man. You know, you make plans with somebody and then they have some shit they have to do, because this happened to me. I mean, I was supposed to come on somebody's shit and ended up not coming on there like an hour later because, you know, I got caught up with work and all some kind of nonsense. So, you know, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's in California. So shit, he might think he need to come up on here at 1:30 in the morning this time, because that would be 10:30 over there. You know? So I don't know. I don't know, Brother Joey. I'm not sure. I think he is. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if he's on Central or I don't know. I don't know. Or Pacific. I don't know. I don't remember. Because I talked to so many people in the run of a week, man. I kind of lose track with all the other shit I got going on throughout the day, man. I lose track of shit, man. Hardcore. Hardcore. You know? Hardcore. So I'm hoping, because I did write him. So he might be on the road. He might be driving. You know. It's just me speculating, but, you know. I don't know what the hell might be possibly going on. You know? Oh, shit, my man, Art. I'm about to send you the link, Art. Let you come up here and drop some gems on the folks like you always do. Like you always do. You know? And anybody else who want to come up in here, let me know. Because see, while I'm sending this out to Brother Art, I'll be sending it to you too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me know if you want to come up here. Check your email, Brother Art. Because it don't look like my other guests are going to show up. I might have caught them on a night that they freaking working. You know? It happens. It's happened to me, so. It's happened to me, so. I would not be mad at the brothers if they don't show up, because, you know, they have lives to live. Oh, shit, King Sigma in the house. King Sigma in the goddamn house. I'm sending you the link too, brother. For those of you who are not familiar with King Sigma, you need to check this young man out, man. You really do. I mean, that's real. I'm not just saying that, you know, to kiss his butt, no shit like that. I'm telling you, you need to check this man. You need to check this brother out, man. You really do. You need to check him out. The brother's got a lot of shit to share, man. High intellect, man. High intellect. That, brother, is what you call a high intellect brother. Oh, shit. Judge Dre in the house, too. Judge Dre in the house. I'm going to send you the link, too, brother. Because now the Hours of Power going to become a pseudo DXL now. Now it's going to turn into Thursday out this motherfucker. You know? Check your emails, brothers. Check your emails. Check your emails. Because I don't know what happened to Thinking Man's Templar. I think the brother probably working. So me and him, we probably going to have to link up next week. You know? We're going to have to link up next week. Check your emails, brothers. Check your emails. Yeah, I think oh, shit, Brother Art in the house. What's good, Brother Art?
What's going on, fam?
I ain't even see you down there, man. I'm doing other shit, fucking with this other screen and shit. What's good,
I just got off work. Just okay. I didn't know what was going on. you know.
Yeah, well, I hadn't done the hours of power thing in a couple of weeks. So tonight I said, because I was supposed to have Loadkast, Thinking Man Templar, and Uncle Ruckus. Thinking Man Templar is working, and Uncle Ruckus, I don't know where the hell he at. Oh shit, bro, Rob in the house. What's good, brother Rob? I'll see you up there, man.
Okay, so
King Sigma, brother Judge in the house.
we came to your
What's good,
rescue,
brother?
brother.
Yeah, right. Like we got to
Super
say
friend.
this. We got to say this motherfucker. He's dying out there.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we don't support our brother, nobody else will.
Everybody's
Yeah.
watching that Golden State game to see if this dude gonna creak under pressure with that media frenzy. So
Now,
I know everybody watching.
Here's a question though. Do you notice that with Steph Curry, every time this motherfucker is in the playoffs, his wife always doing some dumb shit.
You think that's by
And one
design? You
year,
think they all doing that, or she's doing that
no,
on
I
her
don't.
own?
No, I think that the bitch just one of them bitches. She crave attention. That's all that shit is, and she
I
don't
didn't
like the
realize
fact
how
that.
big she blew up. I didn't realize she was that big. I was like,
Oh, yeah,
damn.
when I was looking at her, Steph Curry's badass kid, because that's one of the things I remember back when his little girl kept grabbing the microphone, talking to shit. I'm up here like, yeah, you can tell she don't get her ass whipped at home. Little, she don't know how to shut up and be seen. Because Steph Curry got a badass kid. You can tell by the way they acted in his interviews. Like, oh, girlfriend, you need to take her in the back with that belt. I mean, literally, LeBron James think about it. LeBron James did a interview about a month earlier with his daughter. He was holding his daughter. His daughter was quiet as what? He wasn't getting into trying to do none of that crap. I said, yeah, that's because he getting that ass. That's why. No home training.
Pop don't play that bullshit, you know.
Well, it's the truth. I mean, no home training at all. Especially with her coming out talking about she need more attention and she want men to recognize her. I hate to say, what kind of woman you married? What the hell you want people to recognize you for?
You know what's crazy, Judge? At least she said it, but it don't. A lot of our women do that inadvertently when they go to work and they leave you home, but they put on the makeup and the wig or whatever else.
Mm-hmm. I did a girl that used to get ready 2.5 hours every day for work. I told her, I said, "Are you going to work? Or are you going to walk the corner or some shit?" I mean, she would be late to put her makeup and shit on. I mean, she looked
not to interrupt y'all, but brother Dre Raphael just reminded me of something. I saw you, brother Judge, on I saw you on Tommy the other week too. I didn't see the whole thing. I saw like 20 minutes of it and shit. I was like, oh shit, that looked like fucking brother Judge.
Me and him got into it because he came to another platform first. And somebody in the comment was talking to me in the comment section. And just made a comment. I'm like, man, ain't nobody afraid of Tom. And when I said that, that's when the motherfucker started going off. He was on a live chat. Now, I was in the chat. I was in upstairs too, as we call it, up here on the panel too, but I wasn't talking to him. So then now it's like, this motherfucker. And then he started going off with his all bullshit. But I roasted his ass pretty good on there. I told him, I said, look, that's why it's simple. Ain't nobody never hit my ass and I ain't hit him back. I said, I don't got people wanting to beat. I said, I ain't got people wanting to beat my ass. And none of my children have seen my penis. Wow. So until you can go and do that, you can never talk about nobody, dog.
Mm-hmm. King Sigma in the house. Oh shit, what's up, Lady Poetic? I see you up there. What's good, King Sigma man?
Hey, what up, Prophet? Shout out to the panel.
He watching the game
as well, man. What's happening?
Same old shit, man. I done had to do some impromptu shit because some of my guests didn't show up.
Sometimes the best conversations, bro.
Yeah, man. Sometimes the special edition shit actually works out. But let me ask you something. Brother Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to you a lot on other people's channels. I listen to you on Obsidian and shit like that. And you have a stance on Black society that many brothers have a stance on, but many brothers don't articulate it the way you do. So what inspired the way you think now? I mean, has it been your experiences? Has it been the books you've read? Because obviously you well read, you know, stats and all that. I mean, what gives you your perspective?
Well, I think it's mostly my background, because I've told guys before that I come from a very mixed family, and a lot of people I know don't really come from mixed families, in the sense that I have representatives in my family across all the economic strata. So I have relatives, like I have a brother, and I talk about this openly, and I have to go see this coming up. He's in a Green Bay correctional facility. You know what I'm saying? I have a brother who got caught up in some street stuff, and he's on appeal, you know, for some stuff that he did. And that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got uncles that are very successful businessmen. I got relatives that have a combination of book smarts, street smarts, and common sense. My maternal grandfather, who had a big impact on me, he didn't graduate from the 6th grade, but he was one of the smartest people I ever met. So coming from that background of having such a mixture, and then, you know, my grandmother, she had a big impact on me, because see, my grandmother, she was originally from Mississippi, and she had came up, you know, during that the second migration in the 60s to Chicago. Then parts of my family ended up in Milwaukee and Detroit for the most part. And the thing that stood out to me about her is that she was wild, man. Like my maternal grandmother, she was very wild, but she was such a loving person. But something that she always told me is that, you know, always love your family and don't pass judgment on them, even when they fuck up, and always call them out on their stuff. So since she treated everyone the same, like she had 10 kids, man. So on my maternal side, my mother had 9 other siblings. So they had such different personalities, but I saw my maternal grandmother, she loved them all. And she was so honest about things, though. Like she would say, well, you got this uncle, he's out here doing this crime, his ass is going to prison soon, right? Then you got this uncle, he's doing real estate and business, he has a white wife. You know, she would just be so open about this stuff, but it was just like, you got to make your own decision. So that kind of created my way of looking at the world, is that I've always been very independent because of that. And I've always tried to see things from different standpoints and try to take in information from other people that are walking on a different path. So that's kind of how I developed my way of thinking, just having a very mixed family that gave me a lot of freedom at a young age and gave me good and bad role models. A lot of people don't have good and bad role models. Usually they grew up in a family where everyone's doing pretty good or they're doing pretty bad. But I saw the whole spectrum in my family. So, you know, I saw uncles in prison and I went and visited them. You know, Wisconsin has always been one of the worst states for Black men. Always has been, for, I mean, all my life at least. So, you know, being a kid and going up to visit your uncle in prison, that was very like traumatic to me and an eye opener. And I said that, nah, man, I'm not going this route. So I said that whatever I do, I'm not ending up here. So that had a big impact on me as well. Staying out of prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always helps.
Yeah, especially in Wisconsin.
Man, I just think you have some really interesting perspectives, man, and you know, it's always a pleasure, man, to listen.
I appreciate that, bro. Much respect, man. Very much. I appreciate that.
I do. You know, because I know you and I, you know, we kind of bumped heads in the past and shit, but
I never saw it that way. I see that's probably different with me, is that I welcome people sharpening my blade. You know what I'm saying? So like someone like you may see it that way because you come from a different, you know, side of this whole thing. I came from this side from the standpoint of I want to be the dumbest person in the rooms that I walk into. That's how I roll in places. I think like that. Like I assume that I'm the dumbest person and that I have to gain more knowledge of the space. So that's kind of how I look at it. So if someone's telling me something I don't know, I'm going to take that information. And when I have time, I'm gonna go look it up for myself and confirm it. But no, I never looked at it as bumping heads. I looked at it as that this is an opportunity to test what I've learned. So when you came through this space, you came through not too long after me. You know what I'm saying? Like I only been here for like 13, 14 months myself in this part of YouTube with the Black Manosphere. So when you came through, it was kind of an opportunity for me you were different because it was you, Gab, and Amiri. are the ones that was something totally different than I had seen in the time that when I first got to this space. So you guys didn't fit into me, you know, based on what you guys are coming with, because you guys are coming in from such a different angle. So that's more what it was about. It was about me understanding where you were coming from, why you thought the way you thought. You know, then I saw your evolution. I've always thought that, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but I've always thought that a panel with just you three would be such a rewarding thing for the rest of the manosphere and for guys that are on the other side right now, but that have not went through that transition you're going through. Because it seems like eventually, you know, a lot of men are going to enter this sector of YouTube, that same route that you guys went through. So that's kind of how I saw it.
Yeah, well, you know, life, I've always thought of life as a lesson. You know, I've learned a lot in my life. You know, some things I've learned quite late. Some things I feel like I may have learned too early. But I feel like life is always a lesson. So as long as you're alive, you're supposed to be learning, you're supposed to be growing, you're supposed to be progressing. That's just the way I look at things. And I can't get up here and tell people to open their mind while my shit is closed. That doesn't make any sense. So I've never had a closed-minded approach, you know, to YouTube. You know, like I spoke with Loadkast earlier tonight. I've never really had a closed-minded approach. And sometimes you got to get hit in the damn head with a damn brick. Now, just to realize that getting hit with a brick hurts.
Well, I mean, it's actually a good thing, because like I said, there's going to be so many, you know, people coming through this space, it's not necessarily a permanent situation. There's going to be people that come through, they're just in a transition, they're going to take the knowledge and move on to bigger and better things. There's some people that are going to anchor this space, and there's others that are going to be in and out. So, you know, someone like you will be valuable because you see the other side very clearly, probably more clear than some of the guys on this side. But then you're also learning this side because you interview so many people from so many different tribes of the Black Manosphere, because the Black Manosphere is not a monolithic group at all. It's definitely, I broke it down to 7 tribes. So other guys probably have 10, 15 different, you know, sects that they consider in this space. So guys like you will be good for men that are going to eventually come from that side, because I've noticed, man, like just in the last couple of months, there's an influx of individuals from that side of the Black Manosphere, from the larger part of the Black Manosphere, men and women. They're coming into this space, and it's like, damn, you know, why are they coming here? So there must be something that they're not getting on that side that they're getting here. That's what I understand so far. So there's something that they're getting on this side that they're not getting over there. I don't know if it's just entertainment, if it's a new way of looking at the world. I don't quite know yet, but there is a pickup in 2019 of people coming from that side of the Black YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I do. And I always thought on YouTube, I kind of figured that even though there were so many different points of views, you know, as far as brothers go, you know, and brothers from different, you know, sides and different perspectives, I knew that there would be some things that many of us agreed upon. You know, of course, we're all different and shit, you know, that just goes without saying. But I knew that there would always be a center somewhere where, you know, there are things that we agree on. I mean, that's just the way it is. Just like we can disagree on shit, some of us agree on shit. So that's kind of where I am on YouTube. Now, I do a lot of different shit. Like I spoke with Brother Loadkast earlier. I do a lot of different shit on YouTube. I don't just do one thing. You know, I do this shit. I interview people, you know, I talk to people that are quote unquote kind of famous and that kind of shit. Do all that kind of shit up on here. You know, so the Prophet of Thought series isn't a monolithic thing whatsoever. That's why it's the Prophet of Thought series. There's like 9 different series on here. So what I try to do is I try to mix it up and give people different looks and shit. But you know, you're gonna get X all the time. Like, for instance, like when I interview somebody, like I had Dr. Umar on the show, I think 2-3 weeks ago. And I got all these bullshit comments about, oh man, you're kissing Dr. Umar's ass. You're caping for Dr. Umar. You're kissing his butt, you know, and all this kind of nonsense. But see, I'm interviewing the man. I didn't bring him up there to roast him. I didn't bring him up there to try to catch him up. I'm interviewing the man. He's not there to be roasted. I ask him a question. He answers it. That's it. I accept the answer, just like I do with anyone else. What I think often happens on YouTube, though, is you get these people in the peanut gallery, not even content creators. You get these fucking people in the peanut gallery trying to tell you how to do shit. Okay? If you don't like the way I do it, what you do is you get Dr. Umar on your shit if you can, get him on your shit and you roast him.
Well, one of the things
you ask bullshit questions and all that kind of nonsense. You do that. Don't try to make me change the way I do my shit, man. Get out of here.
I think it goes beyond that, though, Prophet. I think there's also a fact that a lot of Black people have a Messiah complex, is what I believe. I really believe that. So they get very emotional when someone that they put on a higher level than themselves shows flaws. So they since they have an investment in those people to be their messiahs, and that's kind of something I think that Black people in general should be moving away from at this point. I mean, it's like, if Umar Johnson is delivering a message that you like, roll with it. The moment that he delivers something that you don't like, move on.
Exactly.
But a lot of people have, like, since it's a messiah figure, it's almost like they want to see that figure either in a holy way or they want to see them hung to the cross. One or the other. It's no in between. So because
I think that's a problem with us, though. The Black people, that's a strong problem. I sit up here and say, if a camera and news crew followed us around, I mean, everybody, all of us got dirt on us in some type of way. And I don't understand. If the person say is the best, at say he wanted to open a school or whatever, who gives a shit who he was in bed with, whatever, because that has nothing to do with school.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, because you got to understand that, like, image is everything. And
but here's the question. Last time I checked, me going to work and doing my job had nothing to do with who I slept with last night.
But it depends on the kind of job you have. Because
I don't. Come on, man.
Hold on, let me respond to you. Let me. Okay, I'll let you finish, but then let me respond to you. So go ahead, finish.
I was just saying, I could be the superintendent. I could be anybody. I mean, think about it. It's plenty of, whoever it is. You can just put name any leader. Doesn't matter who they slept with last night, unless you sitting here preaching, talking about, you should, not cheat on your wife, and they catch you cheating on your wife. I could see if that was your message. But if you're trying to run a school, who you slept with last night had nothing to do with that.
But that's not necessarily true, because you have a constituency. If you're in a situation like a Umar Johnson and you're raising funds from women, because think about it, most of your funds are probably coming from single mothers, women. So that's your constituency. That's your base. So when you put yourself in a situation like that, your constituency and your consumers have a say. So if you're in business, you may say, well, I'm the CEO of the company. I can go sleep with little girls in Vietnam. That might be fine as long as it's private. But the moment that your shareholders and your consumers find out, that might make your product and service unattractive to them. It can happen. That's why CEOs, politicians get fired all the time. For him, his audience was women for the most part. I would bet you. I don't know for sure, but I would bet you he had a big amount of his donors were women. So for women, if they saw it as a problem, hey, I don't want my child being around a man who is out here sleeping with strippers and giving. Some people might have a problem with that. It doesn't mean
the issue,
but it means that if you put yourself in a position to depend on those consumers, they're going to have a say so because you're taking.
But in his case, I'll say this: he wasn't a stripper. I don't believe no more, and he was only sleeping with her. So I mean,
but
he was in a relationship.
You guys are forgetting. The issue wasn't him sleeping with the issue wasn't him sleeping with a stripper. I think the issue that people had was that he said he was celibate on national television.
That as well. So,
Yeah,
so
so that was a part because he probably could have slept with anybody he wanted, but he shouldn't have said that on there on television.
Yeah, if he
exactly.
said celibate, I can see people can say he was a hypocrite. But that's, I hate to say something, just because a person lied about who they slept with still has nothing to do with their job.
That's what
And
you. But see,
But
Joe.
that's how we met. That's how we speak as men. But
Judge,
like King
that,
Sigmund
but
said,
that's what you
but
keep
like
saying, Judge. But you're
no,
not
I'm
understanding
saying it
any.
has nothing to do. I mean, no offense, we all tell little white lies in our own life.
But it doesn't
right,
matter, Judge. It doesn't matter because if it did matter, then he wouldn't have got the flack and the backlash that he got.
but
The
I
What
fact,
I'm
agree with both of
the
you
fact
I
guys.
agree with that, but what I'm trying to say is this: this is the problem.
Wow.
The people
Okay.
just were looking for blood, and they're always, no matter if you will put anybody up under the microscope, there is something I can put out on all of us that can make people not want to do business with you or not hire you from a job. And that's one of the things is that I think that we fail to realize when it comes to employment and work and home relationship. Just because a person can go to work and be the best at this job, you can't find a motherfucker who's better than them. But yet you want to give him flack because whatever, he's dating a white woman or what I mean, for real. I
But
mean,
but that,
Yeah.
but that can be that can be relevant if you depend on a certain clientele. I think what you're losing sight of is that he had a certain clientele, a certain constituency. So the part about dating a white woman, that could be a problem if you're in a certain sector. Let's say you're one of these hotep communist type people, and you're talking about black love all day. All I love is a black woman. Black woman is Mother Earth. She's a goddess queen, and then you show up with a white wife and all your donors are part of that hotep culture and they're a part of that black love where they believe that you're not supposed to engage in miscegenation and they pool their dollars, they have the right to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking at both sides to where, of course, we it's not good to judge, but again, there is a such thing as marketing, and plus, yeah, he did have a lot of male fan bases, but I don't think the males were putting up the dough. I think a lot of single mothers were really putting that money in, and that's probably where he really dropped the ball. Because yeah, and plus also us as a black community, as much chicken we eat, it's hard for us to chew the meat, spit off the bones. The man comes up with
Yeah.
like factual stuff. It's like, okay, well the other stuff, that's where I'm leaning towards judge. I'm like, who cares all the other stuff, but the stuff that you telling me, is it helping? So I mean, I'm in between, but again, I'm leaning towards you too, Sig. Is like, you know, it's a fan base. If you got something to where, your integrity is being questioned, but you're supposed to be in charge of people's children.
Yeah.
That raises a red flag right there.
Well,
So
artists like being a judge, a judge, a politician, a lawyer, they're going to be held to a certain standard of ethics, a police officer, than a regular civilian person. So if you put yourself in like that kind of, I think someone got some feedback. You get yourself in a position where you're making tons and tons of moral assessments. That's going to be a problem if you do something hypocritical for a lot of people that follow you.
Okay, I gotta say something. You were good up until you said, "Oh, somebody in a high moral position like a police officer," because them motherfuckers don't
No, no,
hold
no.
to no type of standards.
Well, I know what you said, Judge. I'm saying they're supposed to be held to a standard, that since they're the ones that enforce justice, if they do something that's criminal, a lot of times they should, they're looked at as even worse than regular criminals. So I'm definitely a person that sees Umar from two sides. So I see him from the side that he has a message, and I can take the message. And I don't have a child that I'm sending to his school. So for me, that's not something that I'm really care about. I'm just looking at the message, and I'm looking at, is it based in logic? Is it factual? Is it something I've heard before? Is he bringing something new? That's all I care about personally, but I can understand the constituency because I'm not a part of Omar's constituency. You see what I'm saying? See, I'm an objective observer because
Well, you want to hear something funny?
Go
These
ahead.
stockbrokers who run the world and manipulate all these stocks, like they did a study, like 65% of them are all drug addicts. I mean, literally, these are the people up there. I mean, like literally, and they do their job and keep it. So this is what I'm just trying to say is sometimes we need to separate their job from what the person does in their personal life.
It's going to be the constituency again. Wall Street is you're comparing two things that are different. Wall Street is known for strippers, whores, drugs, and lavish living. That's actually a part of Wall Street culture since at least the 70s and 80s.
Well, what's the difference? Here's the question. If the Wall Street people can that have more power than all these people can indulge in that, why can't the everyday brother?
Well, but Umar Johnson was not trying to be the everyday brother. You and I can do that because we're not trying to take other people's children under our guardianship. So that makes him not the everyday brother. Most black men are not guardians of other people's children. So that's what I think that you're kind of overlooking, is the fact that a lot of these women are single mothers, and they already have a lot of distrust of black men as it is. You got to take that as well. There's a lot of black misandry in society right now. It's at an all-time high. A lot of hatred towards black men, a lot of disrespect. It's a lot of things that are going on against black men. So if you have a man who is coming into the life of these single mothers, a lot of these women are coming from pretty intense situations. If they're a single mother, it could be because the father is dead, he's in prison, he left, whatever, divorce. It could be many reasons, but you're talking about a constituency that's already very sensitive to the integrity of black men. So you're kind of up against a double barrel shotgun if you're Umar Johnson and you make that kind of mistake, because there's already the doubt from everyone that you can't succeed even without you. He could be Mr. Perfect, but there's already that doubt from the very beginning. You're a black man. You can't accomplish this. You can't create a school that's functioning, that solves problems, and that gets children to college. You're already up against that challenge. So when you actually do make that kind of mistake, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than if someone else did it, because you're a black man. We're always at the disadvantage.
Right. What I'm trying to say is this. I totally agree with what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is that a person's personal life really should not, even though in society it does. I agree with you on that. But a person's personal life shouldn't affect their job. As long as they're not bringing that shit to work, or, they're not a drug addict, or where these people, you putting somebody's lives in danger. No. I mean, him being the CEO of a school, no offense, it's not like he's in the classroom teaching them himself. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Sometimes we need to separate that too much. It's bad that somebody sit up here making an accusation against you in your private life, and now all of a sudden you can lose everything you have. And the only people that's going to come down for it more is black people.
But they kind of.
I mean, white people getting caught up now, but I'm just saying It should not be to where, literally, you don't even have to be found guilty. You just got to be accused.
That is true.
And you're done, which is stupid. And I'm not even gonna lie. If I was a woman, and every time somebody got on my nerves, I'd be just boom. And until you take that power away from certain people, and that's the problem. As long as they have that card to pull, they have that power. That power needs to be taken away.
Well, I'm just saying that you got to understand how image is important, and we live in a culture. I don't know if you're aware of it, but a lot of people call this, blast culture. We live in a culture now where, if you sleep with a woman, because this happened to me, and I was kind of shook. You sleep with a woman, these women will take pictures of you. You know how men used to keep collections of panties of women when they had sex with them and show their homeboys, like, man, I fucked the old girl. Oh, no, you didn't. You go her panties right here, right? We live in a culture now where women, because many more women are in this fourth wave of feminism, they've become more masculine. They look at men as trophies as well now. You got a lot of females out here. They want to, if they really he was a dude that was sexy to them, they will try to send information to their friends or other people because they look at it as a status thing to fuck a high status guy, an attractive guy. Now, I know it doesn't make a lot of sense to, some of the brothers that might be married, but there's women out here that don't give two fucks about putting your business out there. Because they came up, these women today, I'm 32. So the girl.
Think about how many times James Harden got caught up. I mean, literally, all these Instagram models and got pictures of him in the bed.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
they'll send you I had a girl send me a picture of me. Like, I never knew this girl took this picture, bro. I never saw the camera. I never saw the picture. One day, she just sent me this picture of me. I'm like, how the fuck you get this picture? And it was just so weird to me, right? So
you lucky it was only a picture, man. I had a girl show me a video of me.
Yeah. Yeah. These chicks be on some spy type shit. So you got this culture where women are writing books, like tell-all books. It's become a trend. It started with that chick Superhead. She was the first one to me that started this trend of, the video vixen, females believing that it's cool. Like they think it's cool to put all their business in the public. They think it's cool to like expose the men in their life for whatever reason that didn't work out. They don't care. They don't have that moral code or that understanding of privacy anymore. So that's the kind of culture that we're living in now, man. Is all I'm saying is that you got to be very careful and protect your reputation with your life now, because it can it can be so easily destroyed in this culture that we live in now. Social media, a lack of respect for privacy, a culture that doesn't really have an ethical or moral code anymore. Anything goes. I mean, you just got to be careful. So if you're a brother that happens to be in a public position, you have to be very wary of that. So unfortunately, that happened to the brother, but it sounds like he's moving on from that, and it's all good. But he still has to answer to his constituency no matter what, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a lot of that kind of shit, man. I mean, especially when you're talking about people saying one thing, doing another, uh, telling you to do shit that they're not doing, have no intention on doing, and never did have any intention on doing. There's a lot of that shit. So, I mean, by now we should be kind of used to it at this point. I mean, we gotta be kind of used to hypocritical shit. We gotta be kind of used to ass backward shit. And unfortunately, some of the shit we are not going to be able to change. I mean, we're not. I mean, we can sit up here and talk on YouTube and have 8-hour streams, 24 hours a day, and guess what? There's still going to be some old jack backwards ass shit going on in black society.
Yes, sir.
Well, the
Yeah,
only thing I can say that really bothered me with the Umar thing is I know the man was upset about all the shit and everybody coming down on him. But I think when he went off and I watched a couple of videos, some pieces here and there. He was like he was just going out on a tyrant, just trying to destroy people for a little bit. And it was just like, oh, dog, you're just making yourself look bad, man.
But if I ever get a chance to talk to him, because I only hung out with him for one day, I really would want to know, does he have like an advisory team? Because I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
pretty
he was
sure he
really
does.
lacking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. He couldn't. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't going to try to do everything himself. I mean, he was going to surround himself with good people. But first, you needed to get the building and everything. You had to get all that shit done. Ain't nobody going to really follow people, especially a black man too. He is black still. And wait a
yeah.
minute, you talking
Well,
about doing this with a school, and all you
he
got is a piece of paper?
yeah, he does. He does have not the cape for Dr. Umar, but I mean, I've been knowing Dr. Umar since 2014. I mean, I've met Dr. Umar a couple times. I've sat down with him. We actually talk pretty often. He does have a team. He does have advisors. I don't always agree with the brother now. Make no mistake, and I tell him as much when we talk. I don't always agree with his ass now, but I've always said this. I've always thought that he believes in what he's saying as far as the school is concerned. Okay, whatever he's saying, I know that he believes in it. Even if a lot of us, we doubt it,
No.
because I've doubted him. I told him that too, and like I've doubted you, Doc. I've doubted him, but I think that when it comes to what he's trying to do, I don't think I don't think he has any doubts about it, and I don't really believe that he's out to Jay Sean, you wrong, man.
Oh, Jay Sean in the
Yeah,
building.
I don't think he trying. Like some people think he was trying to scam people.
Right.
He don't seem like a scammer.
Nah, I mean, I don't think that about the doc either. I mean, like I said, I mean, I know the brother, man. I've known him for a few years and talked to him and shit. I don't think he's really out to scam anyone. Now, do I agree with his methods totally? Absolutely not. Of course. Of course, I don't totally agree with his methods, but I don't believe that I don't believe that the doc is out to scam people and shit. Like I said, I mean, the doc don't need me to defend him. He can defend himself. But I just don't believe that. And I donated to his cause. I donated to the school. I gave a few dollars to it myself, but I never made any hay about it. I've always kind of defended the doc. I've defended him on many occasions.
Yeah, but well, that's one of the problems too in our black community. Every time somebody's trying to do something with any type of positive message, there's always got to be some people out there got to throw stones at it. You know, dude ain't even built nothing yet, and you're already throwing stones at the lot. You know.
Well,
You
you
know,
know,
it's funny though that you said
that
that, man, because
that's why you got to build. That's why it's important that a person put more skin in the game of their own funds, because then they have more power and control over that dynamic than when you do too much crowdfunding. You give those people the right to have that kind of insight into what you're doing, in my opinion. Because let's say, you have a business you want to start, and it might take you $100,000 to start it, and you raise 90% of the income on your own through your own savings, through or bank loans or whatever, and you might get like 10% of it funded publicly, versus if you raise every dollar through crowdfunding and you didn't put that skin in the game, people are going to believe that they have a right to have a say so. I mean, shit, I just heard Prophet say earlier that he got people in his chat. They give him $1. They want to tell him what direction to send the show in. I've heard people say things like that. So if you're talking about raising, I don't know how much he raised for his school, but let's just say it's $100,000, and let's say I created every dollar. I started a business, I got it moving on my own, and I put in every dollar. I'm not giving a fuck what the fans say, because
Well, here's a question. I know what I haven't given him $1, but I tell him how to run his show. Come on now. No, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, well,
everybody's trying to be like Judge.
I know, brother Art, you wanted to get in here, man. You got something you wanna drop on us?
Well, sometimes I lose my thought. I have it, and it's like, okay, it's gone. Man, I mean, just come back to me, but I kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I think I remember now. I think that he's very particular, which is kind of working against him. I think he really wants to have it like, to have this great, big, grand type of plan or whatever, when he could start small
Good
and it
point.
work his way. Matter of fact, he could have done that a long time ago, and he would have had something real big now.
That's
Because he
a
did.
good point, man.
Remember, he said he had what, only $500,000. This is back in like 5 years ago. When around that time he called people you.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that part. That I like what you said.
Y'all remember when he said that?
Yeah,
wow, really?
I remember that.
Yeah.
But
no, I don't know anything about that.
What I'm gonna do is, as far as the doc is concerned, I'm just gonna wait and see what he got going on, man. I mean, that's all we can do at this point anyway. I mean, we can make videos about him and talk shit about him and all that kind of nonsense, but I mean, none of that really matters, and it definitely doesn't matter to him. I mean,
he can still start small.
Yeah,
he can
none of that shit matters. I kind of watch what people do, man. I mean, that's the best way to go about it. I'm just watching and see what he gonna do. I mean, shit. Once he get it up and running, shit, I might take a trip out there and check it out. I'm a traveling man. I travel up and down the East Coast, a few times out the year. So, shit, I might shoot on up there and check the place out once it gets. When he was on here a few weeks ago, he said there is no speculative date, because they need, plumbing, roofing, electrical, that kind of shit. They got a lot of that shit going on. Place needs to be cleaned up, that kind of thing. So there is no date, there's no grand opening date according to him. So
well, I mean, I'm in the construction field. That takes a lot of money, a lot of permits. Just like one of the things I always tell people every time we do a bid on a house or everything. Two things you're never gonna get both. You're never gonna get on time, or you're gonna get on budget. You're only gonna get one or the other. And the only time you do get both is that's because that if you get both, what that means is you were just greatly overcharged and overestimated on how long they would take. That's the only time that happens. I mean, literally, we had a house that this house was supposed to be done last day of last month. We're going into May now. I mean, like literally, the tiles and stuff down. They're just now getting in there to start painting, let alone getting the doors and stuff in. So it's like, The shit never goes as planned. And I feel sorry for him. You think that it's that as soon as this school opens, you think they're attacking then, they're gonna really come at him then. Like I expect them to do the same thing to LeBron James with his school. They're gonna be within a year or two, they're gonna be looking to try to find something negative they can say about that man.
Yeah. So what was you guys' original topic tonight? I know it was
Well,
just Johnson.
oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Tonight tonight we were doing the Hours of Power, and I had a couple brothers lined up to come on. I think the Thinking Man's Templar, I think he got caught up because I think he's like a truck driver or something like that, and he had told me that he might have to drive during the time because we had spoken through back and forth through email the other day. So I think he might have got jammed up, but it's all good. I'll catch up with him. We'll do something next week.
That would have been a good conversation. I like his. He definitely brings a different viewpoint to the Black Manosphere space. So I like.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised he follows me, man. He's shit. He's subscribed to my channel. I mean, he be in my chat room and shit. And I watch his shit. I never knew he was a fan of mine. I mean, it's weird. You see people that just you watch their shit all the time, and come to find out they be like, "Yo, man, I watch your shit." Like Loadkast was on here tonight. And I watched some of Loadkast shit. He was like, "Yeah, X, I watch your shit." I was like, "You do?"
Yeah, a lot of that goes on in this space, man. A lot of that goes on, just in general. You just never know who's watching this space, man. Because this YouTube thing is kind of exploding. YouTube is in with Netflix and Hulu and all that. They're in a race to kind of replace Hollywood and television. I don't know if it'll happen, but they're definitely trying to make TV and Hollywood less relevant. And you'd be surprised, a lot of people come to these spaces, man, or it's just people that just are viewing that never comment or say anything. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I got rid of cable about now 2 years ago. Like literally, that's why you always see me in the chat room or whatever. I watch most of my shows online. A couple shows I get like channels I want if I want to watch Power or some shit like that. But I watch most of my shows online, or I listen to YouTube videos.
Yep. I just recently got rid of my finally convinced my damn wife that we don't need that shit. And I finally got rid of that shit, man. Because I don't need it, because we got we got Fire Sticks and shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, what the fuck? We got the Fire Stick. We don't need that cable bullshit, man. And the motherfucker jailbroke too. Shit.
No, you can just go to the Watch series. It's a website. You can go and see damn near every show. Like I saw Avengers the night it came out. Like when people were still at the theater.
Yeah, me too.
I told everybody. I said, this is what I said. I said, tell people this. I got rid of the cable bill. That saved me about $60, $75 a month. So I told myself I'm gonna at least spend $40 on YouTube a month just to support Black channels.
Well, you
so that way I'd rather get rid of the cable and kick the YouTubers a couple dollars here and there.
You see that's why ESPN is laying everyone off, because y'all cutting them cords. But so I was gonna say, Prophet, because you're married right now. I wanted to hear a married man's take on that Steph Curry, Aisha Curry situation, because I've mostly just heard divorced guys and single guys talk about it, but I'm very curious to hear a married man's take on that whole situation with her going on to the whole context of it being Game 5 of the playoffs. Her husband's getting ready for like a major game because they're tied 2-2 with the Rockets, and the day before Game 5, she goes on this show with Jada Pinkett, who she's openly talked about her out of wedlock tryst and her being a sex addict or whatever is going on. And then she makes these statements that she made, and the timing of it. I'm just wondering, like, from a married man's standpoint, what you think of her behavior? Was it appropriate? Was she out of pocket? I mean, what's going on?
She's definitely out of pocket. I'm a believer that, when you have a woman, she needs to fall back off of what you're doing, even if it means kind of curbing what she's got going on, for the sake of that. That's why, you see me up here, you never see my wife. My wife ain't walking in and all this kind of nonsense, because she understands that this is my little space. This is my little section of time. Okay. So I'm a true believer that if you're a person that's out there and you have notoriety, your wife has to be aware of that. Just like when I run my business. I mean, you won't see my wife at my shop. I mean, if she comes to one of my shops, she's coming there because something's wrong with her fucking car and she want me to fuck with it. You know, she's not just like hanging out at the shops or, you know, trying to be the co-boss to the people who I employ. You know, that's not her thing. You know, I mean, she falls back, and I believe a woman should fall back. I think she should fall back. If she's your wife, she's under you, man, regardless of anything else. Okay, she is under you. Okay, y'all aren't co anything when it comes to shit like that. You know, he's in the public eye during these times. Her ass need to be falling back. She don't need to be making any unnecessary comments, and she probably don't need to be showing up on any fucking talk shows or any other kind of shit. Let this man go ahead, play his ball, win his contest, and when he's done with that, then you go on your tour after all of that. Now you can talk about what it's like being with the champion, what it's like, you know, whatever the case may be. I think women should kind of fall back when it comes to that kind of thing. That's my thing, because that's how I operate, you know.
Now what about the piece where she's talking about, you know, that she's desiring this male attention, and that she's thinking that, well, if these men, because she's acknowledging, you know, my husband, all these women want to smash him, but with me, these men aren't giving me the attention outside of it's like she's worried about attention outside of her marriage. She wants male groupies, is basically what she was saying. And she's like, it's something, her exact words are like, I'm thinking like, man, I'm not getting these men hitting on me in the grocery store. I'm not getting these men hitting on me in these different places. Is something wrong with me? If your wife came to you and you just, even if she didn't even do it in public and she told you, she's like, not enough men are hitting on me, how would you respond to that? I'm just, because for me, it's like, no, not at all. Like like you said, a woman in your life is your wife, fall all the way back, be my support system, you know, hold it down. But going off and trying to chase the stars, trying to be on Basketball Housewives and all of that shit, no, sir. You know?
Yeah, that shit's a non-starter. If my wife was to tell me some bullshit like that, oh, men aren't paying attention to me, I would, my first response to her would be, and you're concerned about that, why? You know, that would be my initial response. If she came to me to, oh, you know, guys aren't paying attention to me, I'd be like, and that's a problem for you, why? Exactly. You know, and then I would have to wait and see what she said to that. Okay, depending on what she said to that, that would dictate how the conversation progressed.
If she says she doesn't, she says that her response was, is something wrong with the way she looks? If that was her response, how would you respond to that?
If she was to say, well, you know, guys don't think I'm pretty, or I don't think I'm pretty, whatever case may be, then I would tell her, hey, look, you know, you got one man who takes care of you, help you pay your bills, buy your cars, give you money, help you hold down a house and all that kind of bullshit. You don't need to know what the rest of these motherfuckers think. Okay, you don't need to know none of that shit.
Well, that's what gets me about that whole situation. What gets me about the whole situation is this: if I was Steph Curry, I'd be getting my hard drive ready, recording all of this shit right here, getting my shit ready for the lawyer. As you can tell already, girlfriend either gonna step out, or the fact is they'll be divorced. And I said this 3 years ago. I said they'll be divorced in 5 years. They're about to be divorced.
Yeah, because she's attention. Obviously, she's attention starved for some reason.
And look what she does. She does it at the worst times. Why the fuck you gonna do that exact? And then you wonder why the man ain't playing to his fullest capability. Nigga got so much shit. Nigga don't want to come home to no fucking drama. After you think about it, you on stage where everybody can see, you can't even fart without somebody saying if it smelled bad or something. And then you gonna sit up here and then I gotta come home to that shit? I mean, no offense, you can't raise no fucking kid because that little bitch bad as fucking hell. So I mean, what the hell do you bring to the table?
It does make one wonder though. It does make one wonder though, because you know, like in this space, we get a lot of women who talk about what their preferences are, and I often hear women in this space say that they want a dude that's over 6 feet, over 6 figures, you know, 6-pack and all that. And you know, you look at a guy like Steph Curry, and he's an NBA player, and I think he making what, 40 million a year. And then you got a wife, she got everything she could want, but she's still saying, that ain't enough. I need strange men to let me know how fine I am every day. So for me, it's just like, it just really, for me, marriage at this point in America, it's like it has to come with a lot of different criteria, like prenuptial agreements, marrying.
He fucked. He can't do it's prenup. Prenup ain't gonna help him. But if I'll step, I just be like,
and I
oh,
gotta
yep,
get
you
in
know
because
what? Get
y'all,
your
it's a
attention.
long-winded panel here, brother.
That's
Yeah,
what
get your attention, buddy.
Go
Get your
ahead.
attention, because you're gonna be looking for. I was like, oh, they're not giving you attention. We're going out there. I want you to get your attention. I have my people out here trying to catch her cheating. That way, I don't have to pay as much, because he's
Why
gonna
not,
get a divorce.
that, Judge? Because like in most states with no fault, it doesn't matter if it should. Because in most states, I thought every state in America now is no fault, where even if you caught your wife cheating, that doesn't have anything to do with division of assets. Maybe your state is different, but in most states, even if you caught your wife cheating, even if she got pregnant by another man, it's no fault. So that has no bearing on division of assets, at least in most states. Now you might be in a
Oh well, shit. He need to cut his ties now. Then if they says that, if in his state it's like that, you need to cut your ties now. This
Oh
bitch,
no.
she ain't got your best interest at heart.
They're in California, bro. They're in
Well,
California.
yeah, oh yeah. You need to cut you need to cut his losses right now. I mean, ain't no saving that motherfucker. Wait a minute, I'm damn near a household name. I mean,
Well, yeah, let
He
me
might,
get in there a
well,
little bit now.
he might not be fucking her right. I mean, I think we're kind of overlooking the something obvious. He might not be fucking that right. You know, I mean, because when you're fucking a woman right, she's not saying that kind of shit. She's
well,
just
here's the
not,
question
man.
though. During the
Yeah, she's
playoffs, though,
not.
they tell you to slack off on all that during the playoffs and
Well,
all
there
that,
you
because
go.
fucking takes
There you go.
fucking takes actually a toll out of your stamina. So a
Yeah,
lot
fuck
of
sure.
football player, they tell you to hold off for that week before the Super Bowl. They tell them not to have sex and all that, because it takes a lot out of you. So maybe she don't realize something. He needs to cut back on what he's doing at home, so that way he can continue to get the big contracts. You ain't gonna be mad if somebody call and give him another $100 million contract, and your ass gonna want the new house down on the hill somewhere.
Yeah, let me get in a little bit real
Go ahead,
quickly.
Art.
Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, I
Go
think
ahead,
the
Art.
part that we're not paying attention to in regular relationships, that's what these women do. The only difference is that she admitted it. She admitted she wanted attention. But a lot of these women, they get dressed, they do all kind of stuff, and they look way better than you when you at home. So they're always trying to get some kind of attention from some other dudes, but they lie to you and say, "I'm just doing it for you, boo." But it's like, no, I'm at home. I mean, how you gonna look good away from me and I'm at home?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of these women, man, they just, they have the craving to fucking suck a different cock. They just, women are like that, man. Sometimes they want to, they want to slobber on a different set of balls. They want, just the thought of it, gets them going sometime. They go to thinking about other men's penises as opposed to the one that's providing that damn life for them. They get it all fucked up sometime, man. And the life that he probably provides for her, bitches would kill for that life. But see, she's in the life, so she don't care about it. That's why she can get up on some fucking program and talk about, oh, I want attention from other dudes. What, bitch? I probably would have walked on the set and slapped her ass.
But she gained about 50 or 60 pounds,
What
right?
the fuck are you up here? I'd have been like, yo, what the fuck are you up here talking about, girl?
Yeah.
You know what? This interview is over. Let's get the
Right
fuck
about
out
that
of here. Because I'm about to take your ass out in the parking lot right now and choke the shit out of you with your own hair.
But that should just further reinstate what we always say. You can't please a motherfucker for shit, man.
I don't know, man. Like, yeah. That's, to me, it's like when you see something like that, just shake your head at that shit, because it's like, to me, it's just so disrespectful. And you gotta understand, I heard what you said, Prophet, but you gotta also think she got other women in her ear as well. You gotta as well. Like,
you know what they say, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Yeah,
I see my man Jay Shine has come through. What's good, brother Jay Shine? What's going on?
Microphone check 1 2 1 2.
What up?
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Okay,
yeah, I
cool.
can hear you. You sound kind of low though.
Yeah, I'm on a fucking cell phone, man. So, and I can't stay long. I just want to add just one little bit to it, man. This is why, X, you're gonna be the last married nigga. You understand me?
I say what?
You the last married nigga out here.
You think so, man?
Possibly.
Man, listen. This is a handsome champion in his prime, winning championships, and this bitch she want attention from the pool boy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is what we got to deal with as men. Look, if you can't look at the lives that Kevin Garnett gave his woman or Kenny Smith gave his woman and see the bullshit they going through, and you think you better than them brothers, you working at a regular job making 60, 80, maybe 100 grand a year, and you giving a good life, and you putting food in the belly, and you got nice shoes on your woman's feet, and she out here talking crazy about getting attention and still wanting to have it. Attention is a very, very, very slippery slope for women. It becomes a drug for them. You understand? It's very dangerous because once they getting caught up in that shit, they'll do anything for it. And you can't rely on them. You can't trust them. And the fact that this woman had 3 kids, has a dude that is not out here fucking around with all these thoughts that he could be fucking around on, and he's loving on her and gives up promotion every time he gets a chance, and she's sitting on TV next to his mother talking about she wonders why she's not getting attention from other men is nuts.
Yeah, man. Fuck.
She's sitting next to this nigga's mama.
Wait a minute. She was sitting next to his mother. I didn't see it. I just heard about it.
Look,
and the mother didn't slap his ass?
At the table was next to her was his mother. Right next to her was his sister. And on the other side of the table was the woman that's married to his other brother. And she's sitting here talking about what she's not getting from strangers.
You want to hear something funny? That's some shit right there.
Jay Sean, that tells you how like ubiquitous the feminist programming is. You know, that girl power shit. Women can do whatever a man can do. You deserve this. It's so broad. They all got the same fucking programming. So even though you're talking about like 2 generations of women, with Steph Curry's mother's age, her probably being about the age of Jada Pinkett, maybe a little bit older, and then with these younger women, like I believe she's like 30, she's a millennial. So you got to understand, man, these women got the same, you know, whereas the black woman from 30 years ago, she was getting that third wave program. And now the millennial women and the black women, because they're one wave ahead of the white women, they're in the 4th wave, bro. And to them, they believe, like literally, some of them believe that they are a man. So her
motherfuckers still running Windows 7 programming on all them motherfuckers.
Yeah, so she probably thinking that she's seeing her husband. See, she's looking at it from the standpoint of it's not his success, it's our success. So she believes that
what about me?
Yeah. So if he's getting all these female groupies, she feel like, well, shit, I should be
Here's a question. Does anybody know? Did he get her pregnant before he got married?
I gotta add to that real quick. This is another thing that a lot of motherfuckers might not have missed. If you watch that episode, because I watch Red Table Talk, I think it's a very good show to watch for men to watch because it's grown women shit going on in that show, and it also shows you the mentality of women in a lot of situations. But one thing a lot of people did not pick up on was that before she said that came out of a conversation they had about how do they deal with the men getting attention from other women.
Mm-hmm.
That came out of that. So they just got through talking about how some of them like the fact that they men get that kind of attention, but they expect their men to be respectful and they like how their men handle situations. And then Jada Pinkett goes into how she had to think about it from a man position, how these men have so much control because they don't put themselves in a position, how these women are coming at them. These women come at them in front of them. Women come at their men in front of them. This is how thirsty they are. And she broke it down how women have an imperative. It's kind of like how men look at pretty women. This is real shit that Jada said. I really give her props for saying this shit. She said how how men look at pretty women and they see a primal imperative to get her pregnant. And it's the same thing with women. When they see a successful man who can provide things for them, you know what I mean, and put them on a different status, they go nuts and they do shit right in front of their wives. They don't even care. And the men have to deal with that kind of shit. And the fact that Will Smith and all these other brothers out here don't have all these extracurricular, activities going on with other baby mothers and stuff like that, and out of marriage children, should give them props. But then after that conversation is taking place, this bitch right in front of the man's wife, the man's mother, talks about how she's not getting attention. That should tell you a lot about what King Sigmund is telling you about how this feminism has warped the minds of our sisters. Because even if you felt that way, you should have enough self-control not to say some shit like that on a national TV show.
And on front of his mama too. It's like, what respect? I hate to say something. If that was my mama, hate to say something, I would have cut your ass. If she wasn't mad at her and my sister wasn't mad at her, your ass would have been cut off after that day.
Hey, Judge, let me ask you a question, Judge. How many women have you heard Stephen Curry, laying up with? This man is in the prime of his life. He's a champion.
None.
He's on every fucking shit in the bay right now.
Okay, here's the question.
California, where all the pros are.
Well, here's the question, though. I ain't never heard him laid up with none. But I bet you this bitch must have got pregnant before he married her. Because ain't no fucking way. She sounded like she an attention whore extremely. Ain't no fucking way he married her. She must have trapped this nigga some type of way.
They got married very young.
I bet you she was probably pregnant. And he probably figured, fuck it, I'll go ahead and marry her. Because ain't no fucking way she an attention whore.
Well, they in that church too. You got to understand also.
Yeah, well, you would think that she would have at least enough respect for him to not get out there and be like, oh, I need attention from other dudes. I'm telling you, I would have walked on that set and slapped her goddamn lipstick off.
Man.
Ain't no way my woman would have said that shit up there, man.
He's right about how fourth wave feminism and all this waves of feminism have affected our women. They're at the point now where they don't even have any self-control with their mouth. Even if you felt that way, that was not the time and place to say that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But you want attention. You want to be in a moment when you're on a national TV show. I'm gonna tell you how deep this really goes. It's not even about the attention she's not getting from the men. In that moment, she wanted attention.
Yeah. It was probably a plea. She probably got her DMs blowing up. I bet you thousands of men, after hearing her say it on TV, she probably got more dick pics in her DMs in the last 24 hours than you could ever imagine. She got all the attention she could ever want.
And not knowing and not realizing that, a lot of brothers look at Curry and we look at him as a cool little brother. You know what I mean? He's a chill little dude. You know what I mean? They probably giving him a pass because there's niggas out there. They don't give a fuck. They want to smash niggas' wives. And they giving that brother a pass because he's a champion, because they like him, because he's likable. And that's probably another reason why niggas ain't really coming at you, because she's in California. And there's a lot of dudes out there that are on some different shit that would holler at your wife. And they probably like, nah, that's a champ's wife. I give her a pass.
Don't you think that's interesting, though, that like the men are respecting her marriage more than she does herself?
Thank you. That's exactly what I was about to say.
That shit disturbing to me,
That's
man.
because she's primed to get out there and suck another dick, I'm telling you. She's priming her own self.
You know what it is?
She's souping up her own fucking head to get ready to suck another dick, man. I'm telling you.
You guys ever wonder why a millionaire wife will end up fucking the flower boy or the pool boy?
I've never wondered it because I've been in a situation where I've met women that had much more money than me and I had sex with them and I can still do it. So for me, it's like, I just look at it from the standpoint of she got married too young. They were only like 23, 24 years old, which kind of makes me think that Judge might be right. Maybe she was already knocked up, and them being from a church family, he probably just, I got to do this, I got to do the right thing because they probably didn't believe in abortion and all that. And so he probably had a little bit of fun before he got married, being a college basketball player. But here's the thing, women, I believe that most women got to go through, it don't have to be, some people call it the thought phase, the whole phase. But I think that most women need to go through at least a period of time where they went on a couple dates, met a couple dudes, and then got married. And she probably is one of these.
No. Go deeper, Sigma. They need to get banged out. They need to get handed around like a duchy. That's what they need to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, you said it, you said it more directly to me, but there is that phase that women need to go through. And I think what happened with her is that being that she was on this church girl shit all her life, she probably was playing that shit all the way. Then she boom, he hit it, knocked her up. They being church people, not believing in abortion and things like that. He married her. So now that Jezebel has been growing and growing inside of her.
Yeah.
And her, you got to understand, for a woman like that, their circle of friends changes dramatically if you're dealing with a man with that kind of status. So first off, you're just around females like yourself, regular middle-class girls, but then you get with a dude like that that's worth fucking $200 million over 5 years. You're getting connected with women on the top echelons. Now remember, we're in a day and age where women are often making more than men. So you got to understand, you out there in California, you're the wife of this successful man. You're connected with very high power, very feminized, masculine spirit women. They're taking you to fucking male strip clubs. They might have taken you to an orgy, and they're like, "Oh, girl, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing," because you're on par with them through your man, through his money. You are in a whole nother class. You're around high power women who may not be the best influencer. I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith herself. Come on now, man. Her and Will Smith have had some issues with infidelities in their marriage. So she may not be the best person to be talking to about, hey, she might go up to Jada and be like, have you ever got to the point you just saw a good looking man and you just wanted to fuck you up against the wall?
Jada's gonna be like, yeah,
the best person to ask that question to, because she might be like, I just did it last night.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What I think is, I think
man.
Mrs. Curry is an aspiring fucking hoe. She's aspiring to do hoe shit. She's psyching herself up to go out and do hoe shit. That's what I'm thinking. And it's probably some shit that bubbled up for a while, and now the top is off the fucking volcano and the lava running down the side of it is her trying to do some old hoe shit.
Man,
that's what I'm
telling you, man. That attention shit.
She's gonna go get the darkest dude she can find. You know what's gonna be funny?
Yeah, that
she's gonna get the
very dangerous, man.
Darkest nigga that she can find just to fuck get out of her.
Get banged out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, man.
She gonna go off and fuck some broke nigga.
Yeah.
Yo, the fact that this man has backed all her dreams.
That's exactly what's good. And she gonna be like, I don't want nothing. I want the darkest. She gonna say the darkest person. She's gonna find the darkest nigga that happened to be in the area tonight, and he getting it in. He's getting
Patrick
it.
Beverly gonna be fucking her next month?
Huh?
Patrick Beverly gonna be banging her out next month?
Man, it could be Patrick Beverly. Is he the blackest dude in the NBA?
He one of them.
So she gonna find the black. It ain't gonna
be nobody in the NBA.
No,
it's gonna be the motherfucking. It's gonna be the motherfucker who mops the floors.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a bus boy. You know what's gonna be?
That
it's gonna be a bus boy. It's gonna be a bus boy at her restaurant. The restaurant he bought her.
It's gonna be like straight up like the delivery boy, UPS.
Some fucking waiter.
Yeah, this bus boy coming to work all the time talking about, "Hey, Miss Curry, you look beautiful. Hey, Miss Curry, you look beautiful." And then she gonna hear that shit for fucking 5 months straight. Like, get your ass in my office.
Yep. It's gonna be some fucking waiter who still lives with his mom. You know what I'm saying? Or the fucking janitor. You know, the guy who cleans the fucking floors and shit.
God,
put all jokes aside,
brother. But all jokes aside. The fact that
and then I got
her dreams, man, like the TV shows, the blogs, everything that she wanted to do with the cooking stuff, and stepped back and gave her front and center. You know what I mean? And she wouldn't have had none of that if she wasn't attached to him. And she gave him a restaurant. Her restaurant is popping. He comes in every now and then to keep it popping. And this is the shit you want.
You know what it is though, Jay Sean? See,
damn.
You gotta understand, man. You gotta think about her age though. She's 30 years old, man. She's in the middle of the millennial wave. She's like the third wave millennial. So she grew up on Basketball Wives. She grew up on what's that show? Housewives of Atlanta or something.
Yeah,
she grew up on Scandal. You gotta understand, a 30-year-old woman. See, most of those women that are on those shows are second rate. They're like the ex-girlfriends and the ex-jump-offs of okay players. Now, for girls like her, you got these Hollywood producers coming up to her because remember, those other girls are just cast-offs, nobodies. You're the wife. They coming up to you like Shaq's. Remember Shaq's ex-wife? She was the one that was behind that whole basketball housewife thing with Shaq's wife. So she's with the highest paid NBA player. You know how many of those people getting in her ear like, girl, we'll give you a talk show. You know, just come on. You don't got to do anything too scandal all the time. Now she sees Steph Curry out here. His face is on everything, this and that. And she believes that she deserves the same kind of attention that he's getting. And you got to understand, she's in California So she's getting hit up by agents all the time trying to get her to do things. He probably telling her, nope, nope, nope. But she got her girlfriend saying, girl, if I was you, I'd be on Basketball Housewives, just getting in her ear, in her head and shit. And so at 30, man, like the brother Prophet said, that pussy's probably vibrating and she's just bubbling for the opportunity to do what all her other friends are doing because she's probably talking to her friends
but
who
peep this.
Dick down. They're getting dick down by numerous dudes now. This is how these women out here think. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, well, she's changed because wasn't it a while back when she had gotten to some controversy because she was, she came off as this virtuous woman who didn't dress provocatively. All this shit was for her husband and all this kind of nonsense.
And I was rocking with her too.
Yeah, y'all remember that, right?
Yeah, I was rocking
and now it's evolved from that to, oh, I want men to look at me. It makes my pussy wet. So I mean, it jumps. She went from I'm content with my husband to wait a damn minute. Niggas ain't checking me out. Fuck that. I need to wear tighter pants. I need to wear lower cut shirts and all that.
To the caveman era.
The women have pressured her to think about it, Prophet. You got hoes out here. They will actually go in on a married woman harder than a hoe. It's like since they hoes, since they're single mothers, since they can't keep a man, when they actually see a woman who has the personality to keep a man of value interested, they go out of their way to like degrade her. And this doesn't make any sense. So they try to degrade the woman that's married, the woman that is able to attract a quality mate. But then they try to put the whore above the wife now. So that's big in social media right now.
And the hoes have been vindicated.
So do y'all think that's what it is? Did she get influenced by the hoe bag culture? Is that what happened? Did she got hoe? Well, she probably knows some chicks that's hoes. They probably rich, but they still probably hoes. She probably know a few hoes.
All her friends are hoes, X.
Yeah.
She knows.
It looks like freedom, X. It looks like freedom. See, that whole saying the grass is greener on the other side. You got to understand. You're a little bit of an older brother, so I don't know how active you are in things like Instagram, Snapchat, and shit like that with your children or whatnot. But you got to understand, these women live in a world that a woman 30 years ago had no clue about, bro. You got to understand, these women can go into their phone and have access to hundreds of thousands of men on the planet. If she's an attractive woman, whereas she's a 6.5 or above, she got, man, starting at 6.5, these women got a dozen something dudes hitting them up. Then when you go up that scale, most people would say that Aisha Curry minus the weight, she's probably like a 7.5, in her prime, 7.5. She looks wholesome, attractive, clean. So she probably got a couple, 1,000. She could have 1,000 dudes hitting her up. This is something that was unheard of. It was impossible 30 years ago unless a woman was famous.
Hey, Sigma, you don't think the fact that Seidel, the young sister, is getting all that attention from men is not making her jealous?
Yes, making it, of course.
She's watching other girls who are supposed to be lesser than her get attention, and she like, where's mine?
Yep. I do agree with you on that. That's what I'm trying to tell Prophet, because Prophet, I don't know if he fucks with the social media like that, bro. And a lot of guys that I talk to that are like baby boomers or older Gen Xers that they just don't understand what's going on in the culture now. Like, you can literally
culture.
Yeah, it's a whole culture.
Sigma. This is water.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older brothers, we look at it, but I think we have a problem understanding it. Because the way we came up, it was different. I have sons, I have sons that are over 30. So, you talking about a total different group of people. I have sons that, their age. So, and I watch how my sons are, but my sons are a reflection of me. They're a reflection of, my training, my grooming, because I've always been in their lives and shit. So, I guess I look at my sons a little differently because, the shit I know I instilled in them. But I would have the same reaction, though, if one of my sons, his wife, was on some show talking about, oh, I need guys to look at me. I'd be on the phone with my son like, yo, man, what the fuck is good with your wife, man? Yeah. Why the fuck is she on TV talking about she need other guys to look at her and shit? What's going on with that shit?
It's an ego trip. It's a fucking ego trip, man. You got a chick on here who did not build the name that she has. This is the motherfucker who went through injuries and is one of the greatest shooters of all. You know how much fucking time this nigga spent in the gym doing what he do to get the fucking muscle memory and the strength in his arm and his wrist to shoot the ball the way he does, and the focus and his handles, and I mean, and then go out here and be a fucking champion before Durant. You know what I mean? To create his own space in the league, man. Been a class act, ain't been caught up in no scandals, gave her everything that she wanted, packed all her dreams. You know what that says to brothers like us?
Man, that we got no chance of keeping. If you put you know what it says to guys like me is that never put a woman on a pedestal above yourself. That's what I feel.
You know what I mean? We gotta have to get back on some caveman shit.
And
I
agree.
In there, get the fucking dishes clean, bust them dishes, cook up that food, better not burn not one fucking macaroni, take your shoes off. You know what I mean? And wash my goddamn clothes. That's coming.
When the kids go to bed, get on your knees.
That's what's coming. They're pushing us into like, you can't even look. This dude gave her everything. Man, he's been involved. He's been there for. He's worshipped her. He's put her on a pedestal. He's shown black love. He done all the bullshit that women talk about they want.
Well, that's just talk, CJ Shine. That's just talk. You know what it is? I've been working on some theories, man. And one of my recent theories is that most of what we think about women, and we say, "Oh, that's woman's nature." I'm starting to not believe that. I think that we programmed ourselves, not our generation, but I think our grandfather and our great-grandfathers passed down certain ideas that they knew were lies, but they understood that those lies were beneficial to the overall society.
Correct.
So I think a lot of what we've been told by older generations about women's nature, they're nurturers, they're virtuous, and all this type of shit, I think that was projection that was programmed into us to tell the women. And so we call it blue pill thinking, but I think a lot of that's just programming. I think that women have never been these innocent, virtuous, or even nurture. I think that men are the protectors. I think we're the nurturers. I think we're the builders. We're the shit. We are the shit. Like literally, we create the paradigm, we create the civilizations, and then the women take part in that. But I think over time, the last two generations just lost all their patriarchal strength, and they let women run wild, thinking I don't think they did it for the wrong reason. I think that they might have thought, okay, well, we're shining. We're at a good point. We have a leisure society. We have a great economy. Let these women get some shine because they have forgotten the lessons of their grandfathers and their great-grandfathers. And what this generation now is dealing with is the fact that we could be moving. We're already in the black community, at least, at less than 30% marriage rate. Yeah. So we're talking 20 years. Man, this shit might be at like 5% in the black community, man.
And the problem is that brothers.
This is what it comes down to, man. He's not giving her enough pain when he fucks her. Sometimes when you fuck women, they need to feel a little pain down there. They gotta feel a little pain, man. I'm telling you. Sometimes that pain that they feel down there, man. See, that's all part of it. It's the pain of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? The pleasures of pain.
You know,
he's not giving her that pleasure of pain, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
A woman
he's not making the bitch
like
run enough.
I knew this white babe that was a thought, right? She was a fine ass chick. She was a thought though. And you know, everybody got a turn on this bitch, right?
Yeah.
I remember so she told me because she fucked with like a lot of like NBA player type niggas, you know, like she was that fine. And she was like, you know the difference between you broke dudes and rich dudes? I was like, what's that? She was like, broke dudes fuck you like they're not gonna get no pussy ever again. Rich dudes just want to bust none and get off you. She told me some shit like this back when I was in college.
Yeah.
So I've always had that in my mind that you can't give these women too much, man. You can't give them too much or too little. You got to find the balance. I don't care how much you care about the woman. I feel like the woman is in their spirit that the more they have to invest in you. This is what I was taught by my male relatives is that you should make a woman invest spiritually, whatever she can to the point where she's begging to fuck you. I don't want to have sex with a woman that's not begging to fuck me. I've always been like that. I'm patient enough that I can get her to the point where she's begging to have sex with me. When we gonna meet up again? You know, I want to take you out. I like that feeling, you know, the woman. And I think once you lose that kind of position with a woman where it just becomes like something that's redundant and y'all going through the motions, that's when all that luxury that you're giving her, that shit don't mean anything anymore because she can't appreciate it because like the brother Jay Sean just said, it was Steph Curry that was the son of an NBA player that put the basketball in his hand and like in the cradle and taught him all, and he had to go out there, get the calluses, put in the work over 30 years and shit. She didn't have to do that. All she had to do was be born attractive and to just not be a hoe. That's all. A lot of women got it lucky. They got it good.
And his thing, Kingston, on top of that, he's giving to that relationship as much as she's giving to the relationship. Like, it's not like he did all that work in life and then she brought all the love and then all the love in the relationship is just her. No, he's been loving on her too. So there's equal. They're equal in that relationship. Everything else that came about as far as her life and her dreams came from his labor. And what that tells me is this, man, like, brothers, what Kingston is saying is right. There's been a lot of bullshit passed down to us, and we got caught up in this making a woman happy shit instead of building our building our lives, building our careers, building our fortunes, building a situation where you can provide. You know what I mean? Being a provider and being able to lead. That's what you should be building in life. Your life should not be wrapped around trying to make a woman happy.
Well, not even the fact of that. She don't even realize. Like, you're right, totally on that. Everything that she has, it all stemmed from him. Nobody would be batting her. She ain't. I mean, I've seen her little show, little snippets here or there. Anybody could do that role. It ain't the only reason why people even gave you the benefit of the doubt and chances because you was the wife of an NBA player. So they listened to you, gave you 5 minutes to listen to. That's how you got your audition.
Yeah.
You didn't get it on your name.
Yeah, man.
You got your audition on him.
Well,
and then you throw that man up under the bus like, I mean, but this is the thing. You throw that man up under the bus by saying some shit like that. I mean, you make it, I mean, hate to say something, I would be thinking, well, goddamn, what, he ain't, like you said, you hear what's talking, what, he ain't fucking her right, he can't fuck, or this, that, or the other. I mean, literally. I mean, and then this nigga's got to go perform in front of, I ain't gonna lie, if I was on the court with Steph, I'll be talking shit like a motherfucker. He'd never make a shot. He'd never make a shot, man.
But wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Possibly, I'm gonna come from it from a different angle. Possibly, because what is she, like 30 years old now?
Yep,
she done had 3 kids. So maybe, just maybe, she's starting to see that fucking imminent wall heading her way. Guess what?
She done already hit the wall. She didn't realize it though.
Despite of everything else, we know women's sexual market value goes down as they age. Men go up. So maybe she's watching Brother Curry's sexual market value go up as she's watching hers go down, and that may be a problem that she's having. That may be an internal fight that she's fighting.
Listen, he needs to cancel that bitch and buy a new one.
Well, maybe that's why she's saying the things she's saying. Maybe she's reading the fucking tea leaves. Maybe she's starting to feel fucking disposable at this point.
You know, something else I was thinking about, Prophet, as well, like along these lines, but it's a little bit more political. You know, something I also been thinking about more and more is that when it comes to black men in particular, I've come to find out that we're actually much more conservative on average than black women. And I think a lot of the things that we be talking about, these women ain't seeing it like that. The shit, we're more conservative than they are. I think most women, if allowed to run wild, they would choose to run wild, whereas most men, they will want some wildness, but they would prefer a lot of calm and peace as well. I don't think most women, if really there was no judgment in society and they knew they could just be fucking and partying all day long, I think most women would take the route of that. Whereas I don't really believe, as much as the myth is that men, all we want to do is fuck all day. I think a lot of that comes from the fact that it's so hard for us to get pussy versus women. Women can get fucked all day long by hundreds of men, so it's easy for them. So if you put them in that situation, and a man is allowed, okay, you can fuck all these women. It's like telling a motherfucker, I'm gonna fill this tub up with ice cream, and you say, go eat all the ice cream, eat. I don't care how much you want to eat that fucking ice cream. You can only eat so much of it. And then you're gonna want peace and quiet, you know what I'm saying? But I honestly believe that a lot of these women, they will run themselves, like you said, into the wall. Like if they could party from 16 to 35 and do it every day, all day, they will party till they die, literally, without the 6 hours.
So them pussy lips turn to look like roast beef.
Yeah, because she's probably, maybe he's not fucking her no more because it's like throwing a fucking baseball bat down a fucking subway tunnel. You know how you
he ain't fucking her. He ain't fucking her because of that fucking attitude.
Tunnel, you can't even hear that shit land.
Did y'all see how she looks today?
You can't even hear it land.
But maybe she don't got a lot of sex. Maybe I bet you I wouldn't be surprised because based on how young they got married, she may not. You know, she probably watches porn. She probably watches these IG models, how they know how to throw that shit because of all the experience.
Yeah.
Maybe she can't throw it like that either. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she feels inadequate as well. So he could be inadequate and she could also be inadequate.
It always could be that you can take a 2-liter Pepsi and put it in her pussy and turn the top on that motherfucker. That's probably could be that too. But some of these hoes you can fit a whole goddamn commercial jar of goddamn mayonnaise in they fucking twat and still have room for fucking the hero, the bread, and the meat and shit, and the lettuce and tomato. You could make a sandwich inside of that motherfucker. She might got that shit going on. He probably tired of making sandwiches. He probably getting tired of making sandwiches inside a whole funk box. You're like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of making sandwiches inside of this motherfucker.
I just hope that if you guys are right that the brother got a prenuptial agreement, even though I know that those things can get thrown out, whatever. But man, it's like, to me, maybe I'm just becoming too like jaded with the shit. But it's like, if I'm Steph Curry, he got married at 23, so he was already I think it was like his first year or second year in the NBA when he got married to her. So you are already a millionaire. I just don't even understand how a dude in that situation gets married. You know what I'm saying? With one, without a prenuptial, and two, unless Judge is right, the girl was knocked up and his parents.
Yeah, he knocked. I believe. Look, we need to find out the age. We'll find out the date of marriage and find out the age of the oldest child.
That's what what's crazy about it. What's crazy about it is that the main reason why they probably married was sitting right next to her, his mama.
Yep. Because she's like a minister, isn't she? She's a minister.
Yeah, exactly. Who put that? Because because she be, she's a real mama. She puts that culture in them. She puts that ethic in them and those boys and made them the way they are. That's why they're not running wild, because they had strong women like that around them that gave them quote unquote respect for women. You know what I mean? And the main reasons why he's probably married to her right now was sitting right next to her, and she's gonna say right next to his mama, "I'm not getting enough attention." Let me say something else, because we ain't talk about Steph enough. Steph is in a league and he's around a bunch of dogs. He's around athletes.
Yeah.
And he has to walk out and compete against dogs when his wife is talking about she ain't getting enough attention from other men.
Man, that can be a mind fuck.
That shit is crazy, man. I was saying, why would you? The fact that you would even say something like that publicly, even if you felt that way, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous to me. It's completely just fuck that nigga. I'm gonna say how I feel. I wish I had 10 dicks.
Think about it. Think about it when he went up to make that slam.
Motherfucker with a T-shirt on saying that shit. I love dicks. She might as well have that T-shirt on when she got it.
Listen to this, guys. When he went up to make that slam at the end of that game and he missed it, man, if I'd have been out there talking shit on court, I'd be like, yeah, evidently you've been missing hitting another couple spots, haven't you?
Don't do it like
talking to Alicia.
Judge is a troublemaker. You doing that Kevin Garnett shit? Remember when Kevin Garnett told Carmelo Anthony, "Your wife pussy tastes like Cheerios"?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, I mean, no offense. That's what you're supposed to do. Some people, the best way to get them out their game is to talk shit. You know, they talk shit on the court. I mean, literally, I was when I used to play ball, I was never a shooter. Never could shoot that well. I was a defender. You wasn't gonna score on me, or if you were scoring, you was gonna shield me. My thing was that. But I know the best way to do it. Hey, I'm not a scorer, so I got to get in your head to get you off balance, and I'm gonna make sure every time you come to the hole, you getting hit hard, and then that's what it is. Then I'm gonna talk shit. Yep. You missed that shot just like you missed that G spot last night. That's what Alicia told me.
To answer your question,
I'm gonna talk to this girl right now. If I was on the Rockets, I go wink at his bitch right now.
To answer your question, Judge, the oldest kid was born. They got married before she was pregnant by about four months, Judge. To answer your question, so he got married to her on July 30th of 2011, and their first child was born on June 19th, 2012. So she must, if those dates are right, she wasn't pregnant when they got married. It looks like.
Okay, he loved the girl.
Yeah, he was really in.
He's in love, but the bitch don't love him right. Because if she loved him right, she wouldn't have got up there and said that bullshit. Like Jay Sean just said, shit. She might as well had went on the goddamn show with a t-shirt on that says "I love dicks" and just had pictures of dicks all over it. She might as well
say
have
my
did
man
that.
ain't fucking me right.
Well,
That's what my man ain't fucking me right. That's what she sound like.
Just have a shirt with collages of dicks on it. You know what I'm saying? Like a dick collage on her shirt, sitting up that motherfucker.
You know that's what gangbangs are about.
She gonna be at the next level.
It's about her getting all the attention. It's about her being the center of the universe. So one in the ass, one in the pussy, one in the mouth. She's in heaven because it's all about her. You know what I mean? That's what gangbangs are all about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's the extreme version of what you just saw on that goddamn show. Now,
and
I gotta go. I gotta go get ready for work, man. I gotta
roll.
Jay-Sean. But
Jay-Sean, hit me up, man. Hit me up, brother.
Man. I just want to say this to you, X, before I go. You are the last married nigga.
Damn.
Possibly. Hit me up, brother.
Well, you know, Prophet, you know, I don't think you guys had to deal with things like the slut walk during your youth. Now, did you?
No.
Nah.
Well, when I was a younger guy, which seems like 1,000 years ago, I mean, of course there was hoes. I mean, hoes have been around since the beginning of time. I mean, you know, of course there was hoes, you know, and you had some hoes that was regular hoes, some hoes that was kind of, you saw them on every other Friday, you know, but
the club and the parties.
Yeah, I mean, so there's always going to be hoes. I mean, and when you're a young guy, you have more of an affinity towards hoes. I mean, as you get older, you're like, oh, these are hoes, man. Fuck out of here. But you know, when you're a young guy, you have more affinity to hoes. Why? Hoes are easy. You know, you don't really got to do shit for you know, you just kind of have to show up with like a 6-pack of Colt 45 and a nickel bag.
But tell the truth, Prophet adult. I mean, this is one of the things that I think that these women don't understand. When you're younger, you're right. You'll sit up here and you'll want to fuck so many people. But as you get older, you know, you start to realize, you know, hell, you know, I ain't gonna cheat on my girl because it ain't worth fucking up what I got at home. A lot of older people fall into that category. One, it's too much work to cheat. I mean, as you get older, you got too much energy, too much work. I mean, would you think about it? You right now, just say you had Steph Curry's money, all that bullshit. Do you think that you would still be out there trying to fuck hoes like you did when you were 20?
Well, y'all
have motherfuckers. Yeah. And fucking Jay-Sean is crazy. That motherfucker said they remind them of their mothers. That's why motherfuckers fuck with hoes.
Well, you know, another thing, Prophet, you know, we're dealing with is that your generation, like, the virgin thing, you know, right now we have more male virgins at the age of 30 than any prior generation, but we have less female virgins than probably any past generation. I mean, everything I read is that the women in the millennial generation are having more sexual partners. So basically, those that are under 36 and between ages of 20, 22, and 36, the females have more partners than the prior generation of women, even though they're having less overall sex, and the men are having less partners and less sex than prior generations. So you have a generation where the roles have basically flipped in the women. The women have become men.
About that. But
I'll say that.
How come that's that way though? And I'm glad you said that, brother.
I'll tell you why it's that way. It's that way because one, men are smart enough to realize this is the thing is men actually pay attention to their older people, men, and that we're teaching them. Hey man, don't sit up here and fuck the wrong bitch because some people sit up here and say getting them pregnant is the worst thing. Sometimes a bitch can go ahead and kill you, and you don't even need you never got them pregnant. I mean, you mess with crazy broads, you got to really be careful who you fucking. You dick them down too well. Next thing you know, now she's doing all this stupid shit, coming up to your job, costing you shit.
But I think it's deeper than that, brother Judge. And I'm gonna tell you why, brother Judge. Why I think it's deeper than that. What often happens, especially in Black society, the females often have more sexual contact than males do when they get to the so-called appropriate age. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we talking 50-60% of young Black girls are what? They're molested by the time they 12, by the time they 16, by the time they 18. Now, young black males get molested too, but it's only 25% of them. So
That's
by the
reported, though.
time-
I believe that the males are actually molested just as much.
Yeah, that's the statistics, because a lot of that shit goes unreported, so it's probably way higher than that.
Yeah,
But
especially on the male side, because a lot of times they don't think about it. The males don't consider that molest, so it don't go down that way.
I got another factor.
We talk about the reporting shit, but what I'm saying is, oftentimes black women have had sexual contact before the young men their age. Why? Because a lot of these girls, they find themselves getting touched when they 8 and 9 and 10 and 12. They 12 years old, they getting fucked by mama's boyfriend. They getting fucked by Uncle Jimmy. They getting fucked by Grandpa Robert. So by the
they
time,
getting fucked by other little girls like them.
yeah, by the time they get to be of appropriate dating age, they usually have had more sexual contact, even though it was dysfunctional, illegal sexual contact. They have had more sexual contact than, say, a 16-year-old boy. Okay. Now, when I was coming up, it was different as a teenager. I mean, girls were scared of your dick, when you were a teenager. When I was a teenager, when you pull that motherfucker out, she be scared, especially if she like 16, 17, you 16, 17. You pull out your penis, she's kind of scared. Shit, these fucking girls now, they 14 years old. They jumping on grown men's dicks like it ain't nothing.
Well, you got to blame Little Kim for that. With her song, she said she used to be scared of the dick. Now she throw lips to the shit. They heard that shit and then they went wild with it.
They're not scared. They're not intimidated by a penis anymore. When I was coming up, girls were intimidated by a penis.
Well, they got dildos when they're teenagers. These girls got dildos. They're watching porn starting at like 11 years old. But there's another factor that you guys might have overlooked. It's the fact that women just have more and better options than they ever had. Because you got to understand, we're talking about proximity. In your guys' generation, I don't know how old Judge is, but I know Prophet, you said you got grandchildren. So you guys think about it. The girl that was like the prom queen in high school, she might have went off to state college, maybe. Most of the finest chicks didn't go off to college like that. A lot of them just, got married very young, and they married the that was in the neighborhood that they thought looked good. They stayed with their high school sweetheart, even though they was finding a motherfucker.
I seen a lot of them like that. Where you be like, oh man, girlfriend was fine. What's so bad too? A lot of them once, you be like, oh man, I would have, gave my left nut to fuck her once. And now you look at them by the time they get 31, 32, look like they've been roll hard, put away wet. You be like, what the fuck happened to you?
So
I used to dream about fucking you.
So you got the local prom queen from back in the day, and she didn't mostly leave her city. Maybe she left her state, maybe. But she most likely didn't very venture far, even though she was finding a motherfucker. But here's the problem. That woman now, she don't got to go find the men. They go fucking find her. When you're on Instagram, when you're on Facebook, when you're on Snapchat, you got girls that are like 17, 16 on there that are finding a motherfucker all over the planet. They're dressing themselves up. They're getting at the men on there. The men are at them because they just see a fine ass bitch no matter where she's at in America, no matter where she's at in Europe. Man, I'm telling these girls at 15, 16, 17 are on social media in bikinis, because they know all about the makeup shit, because all these girls do the makeup tutorials. They know all about that shit. So they look like they're 21, fine as fuck. So the girl today that would have just been the homecoming queen 30 years ago, she got access to men from all classes, all races, and all regions of the world at her fucking fingertips. And sometimes I think I have a hard time explaining to older brothers what's really going on out here. These women got more options and better options, because remember, the homecoming queen chick, she had to pick from the men in her vicinity. You see what I'm saying? So if the best looking man was like a fucking truck driver in her proximity, and he was the one that's available, she's gonna go with him. But now that same girl, she got access to every type of man if she's that girl. That's the part a lot of these brothers don't get. These girls got more options and better options while they're in their prime. Now, what's happening to a lot of these girls, now that they're getting older, a lot of the millennial women and the younger Gen Xer women, is that they're finding out that there's a price to be paid when they do go after those better options than their mothers had, that they're going to be hung out and dry, most of them, when they hit their mid-30s. That's happening right now. That's why even if you listen to Aisha Curry, you guys didn't mention it tonight, Maybe you missed it. She also said that she's on medication. She's taking like psychological medication. And we've talked about this on other panels that the most recent report was 10 years ago. They found out that a quarter of American women were diagnosed with some kind of mental illness. Now that was 10 years ago. And that means that they were diagnosed and taking medication. So the undiagnosed could be, I'm not even going to guess. But then she was talking about that. So here's Ayesha Curry. She seemed to have it all. She's out here begging for dick on TV now, but she's also mentally ill. She said it herself. She says she takes medications for anxiety disorder or whatever she has. See what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the kind of culture that we're in. It's like they're never people. I think that what is missing from the Western civilization is what founded this culture. This culture was founded on a Christian values. Not that I'm saying that people lived up to Christian values, but that was the foundation. That was the expectation, at least. Now, that has been removed from, mainstream culture, the religious aspect of things, the spiritual aspect of things. And I think people are trying to find completion in all these different non-secular venues, and it's not giving them that satisfaction. So Ayesha Curry, it seems like she got it all, but here she is telling all her business in like what, a 30, 45-minute conversation. She talking about I'm on medication for anxiety. I want attention from strange men because I don't feel beautiful, all this shit. And it's just like, I don't know what to say, man. You see, like, damn, you could do everything and it still may not be enough for this woman to be your wife. Whereas if you just have the side piece roster, it's so much more comfortable.
Well, I mean, that's proof right there. He definitely needs to, if her life doesn't show them that these motherfuckers need to put her on medication and put her in an insane asylum. As a matter of fact, too, that's good for her. Because it looks good for him, because that shows that if he tried to divorce her now, after all of this shit, he can get custody of his kids. Because you can say she wants strange men around. She's not a good, safe environment. There you go, right there. If I was him, I would do it. Especially if anything was going wrong in our relationship, I would divorce her now while it's hot. And get my children.
It's hard to fathom and get your head wrapped around a woman who's a wife married to a fucking millionaire, and she doesn't want to be she's a housewife that wants to be a hood hoe. I don't get that. You would think it would be the other way around, but she's a housewife that wants to be a hoe. That's kind of how it feels. It seems like, with what she's saying, she would be happier if, guys were just fawning on over her, and, Steph was to come in the house one time and, she had 3 guys there, one with a dick in her mouth, one with a dick in her ass, one with a dick in her whole fucking hole. I think she would be happier if, he caught her in the bed, and she just got a handful of dicks and shit, I mean, that would be more that'd be more satisfying to her if he caught her.
It's true though. It's sad, man. It's really sad because it just makes you say, like, damn, if Steph Curry can't keep his wife happy with all the things that he can offer, I mean, it's just like, I just don't. It makes you feel like there is no hope for marriage in America anymore. That's how I feel. Unless you're marrying down, like. Some guys don't agree with me with this, but I feel like at this point, if you're getting married, you should be marrying up as a man. Like, I really feel like we're at that point where, because of the flip in the culture, you're better off as a man marrying up than you are marrying down.
Yeah, definitely. If she don't got more money than you, to plain and simple, she can't even talk to you. That's maybe matter of fact, we need to do that shit now. Turn it around. The bitch ain't taking me out to dinner. You ain't getting no dick.
You made a good point though, Stick.
Go ahead, brother Art. Go ahead, man. I heard you a while. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had to try to come in through the storm, but the energy is flowing. The number one point that I found that Brother King Sigma said was mental illness. I think it's more than 25%. I think it's way more. It's probably even triple.
Could be.
And I think that's the point that we're, a lot of us are not really touching on enough, is that a lot of stuff that we're talking about is just not natural in a woman. So if it's not natural in a woman, there's some craziness there. And if there's some craziness there, then that needs to be acknowledged so we can find some way to treat it or find some way to address it. Because I mean, hell, they making it okay for rappers to wear dresses. They making it okay for transgender to get on like football teams, and and they calling that normal or natural. So some of this stuff we gotta tackle scientifically and at least address it. And so at least we said we can, and at least we said that we did, because there's too much, what they say, it's too much effery going on to where, they put it this way, they getting too much of our time. We trying to talk, we're trying to move on and do natural things and stuff like that. And I don't think that's corny. I don't think that's too corny at all. People just want a normal fucking life.
You know what it is, Art? That's a conservative idea that you're speaking right now, because what you're saying now, that's considered conservative. Whereas the people that you're referring to that are moving society in this direction, that have control of the narrative on the largest platforms, they're all on some leftist, socialist, other shit, degenerate type stuff. And that's what I was mentioning earlier, is that the more I dig into this political season that we're in, I'm starting to realize that if you look at the 2016 election results for black men versus black women, the black man and the black woman is in two different political mentalities going forward. Like, okay, look at two issues that I've been thinking about. Okay, abortion. Talk to most black men. I'm surprised to find that most black men are against abortion, right? But is it not ironic that the biggest promoters of abortion are American black women? 2, illegal immigration. Illegal immigration does the most harm to working class black men and unskilled black men. It's a fact. Like, I've looked up all the data, you guys can look up, but what no one talks about is, one, and no one talks about the impact of illegal immigration, which black women support at a 95% clip, open borders. Black men unfortunately supported their own they went against themselves at 80%, but that number is shrinking by the day. We're at the point where 2020, I'm predicting that 70%, the Democrats will get maybe 65, 70% of the black male vote, and Republicans and third parties with the rest. That's where the trend's going. Now, with this illegal immigration thing, here's one of the things that is a unintended consequence of that. Black men's homelessness rate that no one talks about. For example, I've been digging into it. Most people don't know that homelessness is mostly a gender issue for men. Because 6 out of 10 men are homeless. But here's where it really gets funny. So they don't count the male kids as men. They just call them kids. So women, children is kind of like in their own separate category, which is supposed to represent the other 40% of the homelessness rate. But guess what? When you look in deeper into the number, you find out really it's 80% males. It's 60% men. But when you include the boys, it's like 8 out of 10 homeless are males. Now, this is where the shit gets really deep for black men who are out here voting for illegal immigration and voting with the women and going on these leftist policies that actually hurt them. 4 out of 10 homeless people are black men. That's a conservative estimate from HUD. Conservative. Now think about this. HUD, the last report we had came from the Obama administration. So we have to expect they're going to say, well, it's only 40% or whatever, you know what I'm saying, at that time. But it might actually be more like 50 or 55% of the homeless are black men. But we're just going to stick with the official number, which is a little bit above 40%. But remember, black men are only 6% of the U.S. population, but they represent over 40% of the homeless.
Well, one of the things is with that, think about it. So when it comes to this, a black man with no money, a woman ain't going to give them time of day, this, that, or the other. A black woman with no money, she still got pussy. So there's always some simp out there that'll let her live with him. Just point blank and period. There's certain things, there's certain advantages women have for being a woman.
But we don't even have to go to, but we don't have to take it to that level though. I'm talking about strictly from a policy standpoint, because what I'm trying to say to you is that black men up until 2016 had been voting in the interest of the black family before his own interest. He saw his own interest and the interest of black women and children all the same.
Yeah,
but
he thought all that was aligned. He thought all that was one thing.
Yes, the women was going in a whole different direction, which black men figured out in 2016, which is why
they took it and ran with it.
Yeah. So we saw in 2016 that black men started waking up. So sometime between 2000 and 2016, a large segment of black men have been waking up like, hold up, whoa. This shit is going in a direction I don't want it to go. So the black men is saying, no, I'm not with this abortion stuff at a greater clip versus the women saying, oh, we all for this abortion stuff. We're all for open borders. The black men saying, no, open borders got my uncle lost his job. My dad lost their job. So you have this break. And so you look at the way that money, so the black men that was voting with those women, here's what was happening. The benefits that were accrued and allocated to the black family were going strictly to the black woman over the last 20 years. None of it was going to the black men. So everything was put in the name of the black family. But as we know, only 30% of black people are married. So all these single mothers and a few other women, career women, were getting all of the benefits, even though black men were the other. Because remember, the Democrats, for example, 95% of black women, 80% of black men. No other group in America votes at a higher rate for those policies than the black female and the black man. The black female, when they say she's the backbone, they mean that shit. And the black man is the other part of black backbone. But you don't hear them saying to the black man, hey, you know, the black man is so important, even though the black man is the second highest voter for their policy, but he's getting none of the benefits of it. So what I'm saying is that I think a lot of black men have woken up to this difference of interest, and the shit is about to get real interesting over the course of the next 18 months, man. Because I'm telling you, it's just we're on different sides. The more I dig into this information, I ask myself, okay, so if illegal immigration is one of the biggest contributors to black men being homeless, and black men are overrepresented by like fucking 5 times their rate in the population, what's going on here? What the hell is going on? And all the women that go homeless, oh, they got benefits. Here's another part. All the money that is allocated for the homeless, most of it goes to the women and their children. So these black men are just being left. Oh, go ahead.
Because they think that the black when people think the black family, you think they're really including us.
Not at all.
They're not thinking they're not thinking man, woman, child. They're thinking some old baby mama and her kids. That's the default thought when people think black family. They think the bastardized family. You know, some woman with 5 goddamn kids. That's what they see as the black family. Yes. They don't really see man, woman, child. They don't really see that. I mean, those things are outliers. Now, people say, oh, man, that's not true. You know, people, they be in common law marriages and all this kind of nonsense. But what I'm talking about is official marriage where y'all go get a marriage goddamn license in the whole 9. I'm talking about that kind of marriage. That kind of marriage is a fucking outlier. Now, people say 30% of black people are married. Shit, it might even be less than that at this point. It may be 25% at this point. I'm talking official marriage, not common law, not we've been shacking up for 12 years. I'm talking about official marriage on paper. It's probably less than 30% at this point. It wouldn't shock me at all if it's less than 30% with what the fuck I've seen, you know, today. I mean, especially when you're talking about the people who are coming up now, we're being overran by baby mamas. So obviously ain't nobody marrying these hoes, okay? Because we're just being overran by. It's like you know how motherfuckers be on that show, The Walking Dead, and you see how they just get overran by the fucking zombies and shit. That's what's going on with us with baby mamas. We're just getting overran. It's too many of them. It's too many of them. We don't got enough bullets to shoot them all. And see, so we got to just fall back and shit, fall back into the fort and shit.
And that's why there's this big fear of black men having the kind of conversations that we're even just having right now. I've been in this space 14 months. I haven't heard anyone talk about what I just brought up. The fact that illegal immigration and abortion are 2 issues where black men and black women are on different sides on average, and the impact that illegal immigration has on the homelessness rate of black men. This shit is not talked about on any national
Brother Sigma, you just gave me a goddamn topic for tomorrow's Thursday night show. So you need to come on through tomorrow
Well, if I'm not
DXL.
with the fam, I'm visiting family tomorrow, so if I'm not with the family, I will definitely come through. But if not, I will. I pretty much said what I have to say on the topic for today. But if you guys talk about that, I will be. If I can't make it, I'll catch the replay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. So
you guys need to, because your age group is actually the highest rate of homelessness. It's rising amongst the young men now. But it's your generation that's really been left behind by the policies. You notice I don't talk about Republicans. I'm not into telling people who to vote for. I talk about issues, and I try to bring enough information that everyone can make their own decision. I'm an independent voter, but
me too.
So I just tell you what the issue is, give you the information, and I believe that you're intelligent enough, all the viewers, to figure this shit out for themselves, because I'm telling you, man, you got to really think this through. You got all these benefits that were supposed to, over the last 20 years, go to black men. Black men have gotten shafted, bro. Just think about it. Now, we were just talking about the illegal immigration. Now, let's go to the business and the education standpoint. Look at what happened to affirmative action, another program that was supposed to funnel money to not the black family, but the black man. Over the last 30 years, guess who got that shit? White women. Now, think that shit through. You had a policy that was created to employ black men, especially getting into college, especially getting into the white collar kind of jobs. Somehow, from 1975 to today, the white women convinced other women to join with them to become minority. So they got almost all the benefits of affirmative action over the last 30 years. Now, this is only now beginning to be talked about, but this is how white women have empowered themselves while still voting with the white man. So their white husband may be a conservative, but the white woman was saying, well, I'm a liberal and I'm voting Democrat, getting all those benefits. But guess what? Whether her husband was conservative or she was liberal, all that fucking benefits have gone back to the white household, which is why the rate of wealth amongst these white households has went up 5 times, while black wealth has not moved an inch in 60 years collectively. So think about that. So the affirmative action, the white collar jobs and shit like that, that money over the last 30 years that was supposed to be allocated to black families, as foremost the ones that fought for those programs, that shit got funneled back to the white families. Then they brought in fucking all these millions. We are at a rate, I've seen the numbers 12 million to 20 million. So you guys can choose which number you believe, but we have between 12 and 20 million illegal immigrants in America right now, right? Now, you have 40 million black people. You take those 20 million out tomorrow, the demand for black labor would quadruple overnight. The wages would just double overnight because there would be such a demand for that working class black labor. So you got affirmative action being funneled out. You got illegal immigrants coming in and pushing the blacks out of these positions. Then you also got deindustrialization of the cities, with companies moving all of their factories and all of those working class jobs like my family had when I was growing up. All my uncles worked for Case, Chrysler, shit like that. Growing up, they all were union people. They all, ended up retiring with a nice little pension, but that shit don't exist no more. So you had all this stuff happening over the last 30 to 40 years, and it's like, we don't even fucking talk about it. We sit around talking about fucking Pookie and Ray Ray all day, who the black bitches fucking and all this, but we're not talking about all the issues that created this thing in America that's going on that's only looking to get worse, depending on who takes power over the next 2 political cycles. You got a situation where I'm hearing fucking people running for president right now talking about we want to bring in 10 more million illegal immigrants.
Yeah, that's some old bullshit. That's some old bullshit right there.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get off with that shit. What is all that about?
Then you're talking about the abortion. I mean, it's but then you got, that's why you never hear me use the term our women. I don't use that fucking term with these American black women no more, man. Yeah. I feel like they're on some other shit as a collective, they don't have nothing to do with the black man no more. I've never heard any black woman say to me what I just said to you guys tonight about how there's a direct causation effect from illegal immigration on the black male, but specifically in terms of the rate of homelessness. I've never heard these black women got all these powerful positions and shit that black men have helped them get by backing them, saying that, oh, well, that's our woman. She's working in our interest. No, that's not what the data shows. The data shows that these women are working in their interest. And then they get these jobs. You know, it's like what Carter G. Woodson said about the miseducation of Negro. I had to reread that book, man. It's crazy that he wrote that shit in like the 1920s or 30s or something. But it applies to what we're dealing with. So you see it because black men have empowered these black women. No one talks about it, but think about the data I just showed you. 95% of black women voting for Clinton, 80% of black men, right? Now, to them 8 out of 10 black men that voted for Hillary Clinton, I got to ask you, what the fuck have you gotten back versus what the black woman got? Her position has been lifted. She's praised and showered all in the media. Oh, black women, we needed you so badly. But they don't talk about how, whereas there was 9.5 out of 10 black women voting for them, 8 out of 10 black men also voted for them. But the black female can show what she's gotten out of it. At a minimum, she gets Section 8, food stamps, different free shit that she can she gets free birth control,
cash and prizes, motherfucking government trinkets,
cash and prizes. She also gets rewarded with certain token jobs and shit like. What the fuck does the black man have to show for it?
Not a goddamn thing.
That's where we're at, bro. And so when I hear brothers out here and they're talking about those other issues, I think we got bigger things that we should be talking about as well. Talk about that shit. But how do you just disregard the fact that we have an election 17 months away and you got black men, they're talking about bringing in 10 million more illegal immigrants, and you already got 40% homeless rate amongst black men, even though we only 66% of the fucking population. This is not even discussed on the political level.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about this shit tomorrow. I had planned on talking about something like this anyway, so I'm glad you came on here, Brother Sigma. Because tomorrow, y'all, we're gonna get into the messes that affect the black man. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the messes and the messages that affect the black man. That's what we're gonna be talking about tomorrow. So have your black behinds here, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. We about to wrap up. Any last words, Brother Sigma, Brother Art? Any last words before we peel out?
Just thanks for having me on, man. I'm glad to join you. I'll be with the family for the next few days, so I probably won't be very active in the Black Manosphere probably for the next week, but I am going to leave you guys with the HUD report on homelessness in the chat so that you'll have that.
Yes,
discussion tomorrow. But thanks for having me on. Art, you have a great night. The channel, the panel, the viewers.
Absolutely, man. You got to come through, man, on one of these DXL nights, man. It gets a little crazy. We could use a little clarity and intellect there on that motherfucker.
Hey, man, I'll definitely try to join you guys for a future one in the future, man.
All right, my brother.
All right, so I'll put this in the chat for you.
Absolutely. Peace, my brother.
Yep.
Good chopping up, King Sigma.
Brother Art.
Yes, sir. Y'all filled up the room, didn't you?
You know how it goes on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page.
Yeah, that energy. Let it flow. Let it flow.
Yeah. It's a small channel that gets a lot of big personalities on it. You know how that shit is.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so man, but anyhow, it's my mom's birthday. She would have been 68 or 67.
Wow,
yeah,
man.
So other than that, just to do the whole what's her name? Aisha Curry, man. I mean, the thing is, she lets you know. So this dude might as well, he probably got a good lawyer lined up. he probably see the tea leaves himself, man. She told on herself.
That's how it appears. That's how it appears, man. It appears like she getting herself primed up to go do some hoe bagging. Like I said, she might as well had walked in there with a hoodie on with a picture of 50 dicks on it. She might as well had did that, So I mean, it is what it is. And those of you who are interested, Brother King Sigma just put Does Race Matter in Addressing Homelessness by Dr. Moser. It is in the chat room. Go ahead and hit that link and check it out. You know what I'm saying? If you got time. I'm not saying doing it tonight. You might be watching it on the playback. So go ahead and check this here. You see that right here? You see the link riding up there that Brother King Sigma just put in there. Go ahead and check that out by Dr. Moser. Anything else? Anything else you want to drop on us, Art, before we peel out of here?
Yeah, just say no to drugs, stay in school, and don't be starting forest fires.
well, I'm gonna say this, but before we go. Now I know we started out, on the hours of power. I usually interview everybody for an hour, but two of the guys who were supposed to come on, I guess they got caught up at work or whatever. So it turned into a free for all with some of the usual suspects. And what I'm gonna say is this: when you have a society where you have women who feel like they can blatantly come out and disrespect men, I feel like that is a society that is not just also failing, it's a society that's falling. When you can get on a TV program or get on an internet program or get wherever you want to get, where millions and millions of people are watching, and literally rip your damn man's nuts out by telling everybody else you want to see other men's nuts. Like I said, we're not just falling. We're not just falling as a society. We're failing as a society. Now I know Brother Curry and his wife, that's a separate thing, and not everybody's going through that. But I think it is indicative of the shit we see now, the shit we'll be seeing in the future. And it's kind of reminiscent of the shit a lot of us have seen in our, in our past. We've seen this kind of stuff before, and we got to realize that it's not getting any better. Okay. The only way it's ever going to get better for black men is when black men make it better. Because I'm a true believer that maybe the fucking woman said what she said because she feel like she can. And if she feels like she can say that, we have to once again look at him. Now, maybe it's different. Maybe we don't know. We're not in there. We're not inside the relationship. We're not. But if a woman gets up and says that kind of shit, obviously she feel like she can't. It's not like she said it with any apprehension whatsoever. So she knew nothing was coming behind that. At least when she said it, she didn't think nothing was coming behind it. Who knows? When she got home, he might have put his foot on her face. I don't know. But she wouldn't have said it if she thought she couldn't. So we got to keep that shit in mind too. And like I always say, a lot of the shit that goes on with these women, especially if it's a woman that's yours, a lot of the shit that she's doing because you fucking allow it, man. All right? When you fucking allow it, she's going to do it. That's all it is to it. Okay? Because if she knows you're a motherfucker that ain't going for it, guess what? If she is going to be doing it, she's going to be doing it on the fucking low. Because she want to keep you from knowing it. Because when you're a man, that's the kind of fucking presence you have with your woman. And not just the woman that you're married to, that you're dating, with all the fucking women that's around you. That's just the way it is. Now, I know many of you probably don't agree with that, but who gives a shit? You know I'm right. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming through tonight. I appreciate all the brothers. I appreciate the people in the chat room. My moderators always doing what they got to do. Now, what I want you to do is get your black behinds down to Facebook. Check us out on the main page. It's Popular Thought Series on Facebook. Popular Thought, one word series. The next word on Facebook. That's the main page. It's a community page. Go ahead, like the page, share the page, follow the page. You can always find out what's going on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. And you can catch up with OX there too. Drop me a line, leave me a message. I'm guaranteed to get back to you within 24 and 168 hours. So while you're there, also get on down to the Popular Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. That's the Popular Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You're guaranteed to get in there. If you can't get in there, just drop me a line. I'll make sure that you get up in there. I have my admin check, get you up in there, because I know sometimes your shit be getting stalled up, because my shit gets stalled up going up in there sometimes, if y'all can believe that. So if you have a hard time getting in the group, just drop me an email and I'll make sure you get in. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Popular Thought. Leave out the series on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. You're guaranteed to get a follow back. And here we go again with this Twitter shit. Okay? What I'm going to start doing, every one of you freaking people who listen to this show, If I find out that you're not following us on Twitter, I'm gonna come to your fucking house and make you follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna come right in your shit and get on your damn computer and follow the goddamn Prophet of Thought on fucking Twitter. What's good? What the hell up, 7? What's good, brother? I see you up there. Yeah. You don't follow me on Twitter, I'm coming to your goddamn house and get on your computer and follow the shit my damn self. So check us out on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. That's at T.P.O.T Media on Twitter. Because if you don't follow us on Twitter, I will haunt you in your damn dreams until you do. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I especially want to thank you for watching and spending some time with us tonight. And I want to freaking thank my most distinguished guests, Brother Loadkast, Brother King Sigma, Brother Art Nustal, Brother Judge Dre, and my boy Jay Shine for coming through tonight, hanging out on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. Make sure you have your black behinds here tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, because tomorrow we'll be talking about the messes and the messages that affect the black man in America. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be hardcore. You know, all the usual suspects are going to be here. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words, like I always do. Open your mind.
The Prophet of Thought.
Peace, folks.
Prophet of Thought. You know. The Prophet of Thought. Prophet of Thought. Open your mind, 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 open your mind.
Only from T.P.O.T. Open your minds.